Okay, I believe we are now live. Welcome back for this week's adventure of the Stormbreakers, the very saviors of the Sword Coast. With us today, we have our regular players. All are back again, so no more splitting of the party. We are now actually going to be reuniting them again. So this is our episode this week is Reunited. All right, so currently,
Does
that's
it
right.
feel
We
good?
we're going to find out. We currently have 3 cast members or party members left in Neverwinter. And I believe we kind of said we would take care of business between sessions. And then you guys are going to roll yourselves on back down to Leylon to meet up with Zith that you haven't heard from in quite a while, and he hasn't heard from you. So we're going to check back in and meet in Leylon again. He was going to come back up out of the Mirror of Dead Men from his tromping around down there with lizard folk and meet up with you as well. So you each have your own stories to share. If you would like, you can meet at the Wayside Inn. If Zith isn't going to, like Zith gets back to Leylon and the party's not back yet, so Zith may, if you choose, say, all right, I'm going to hit the road and I'm going to make, after I take my, gather my things in the morning, I'm going to hit the road and end up at the Wayside Inn if I haven't found them by then. And then I'll keep going north until I catch up with them. Maybe something bad happened to them. Something bad almost happened to you. So it stands to reason that something bad might have happened to them. What are your thoughts on that? Where do you want to? Do you want to just hang out in Leylon and let the others come back down? It's a 4-day trip back from there. You've spent a couple of days in
the mirror,
like probably 3 or 4 days total, in and out of the mirror, and you did find one object of your quest down there. You found one of the map locations.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
And you explored that, right?
Yep.
And so you've done that, and you're back in Leylon, and either you've estimated it's going to take them a while long unless something bad happened, and then you won't know. You'll be a 4-day lag if something bad happened to them.
Yep. So I was gonna do 2 things. One, I was gonna sort of, I don't want to waste a ton of time, but I was gonna sort of get into like. Lucy and I went through some stuff together, and like, how did that leave our relationship? Like, are we tighter? Is the lizard folk thing with the town closer because of that, or like, how did that get left?
Yeah, you basically you returned back to the village. And so Lucy kind of goes off into the village to do her own thing, it seems, after she's checked in with the sub-chief. And that's Hussein.
Yep.
Or Hussein. And so Hussein will come to you and he will say that he understands that the message he gives you basically is he understands that you put yourself in danger for his huntress and potentially didn't get out in time, right? But you did. So that she was aware that without you, she would have joined the lizard folk on the other side. So he thanks you. He offers his gratitude and says some other stuff that doesn't make any sense to you. Is rambling on about this or that or whatever. And he did notice that you have this new bow staff.
Yeah.
And because it's big, it's taller than you are by a fair amount. So you will find yourself having to use it almost like sidearm because it's so big. The good news is that it looks like a staff most of the time, and um,
I've never seen a bow staff.
yeah, so it's a bow staff that has the recurve. It's almost like an unstrung bow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, all you do is when you hold the bow, you just bring your hands together, like you hold the staff in the middle, and it's got these orbs on either side of where you would hold it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as you bring your hands together like this and you begin to pull back, the staff itself begins to bend. There's no string, but it
Mm.
begins to bend, and you can feel the weight of the pull. Um, and you actually find that there's this little energy that goes back and forth between what you're pulling, and so it it's it's some kind of force energy. And so
Mm.
you can shoot arrows from it, these force arrows, and it uses up no ammunition.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so you don't have to keep track of arrows anymore if you use this. Um, it is also, um, as you spend more time with it, because you'll probably stay the night in the village again before heading back to Leylon.
Yep.
So you can, it does require attunement. And so you can attune to it. And I have some notes for you that I will put
Oh,
together.
interesting.
I did not make a um, an item for it yet because it's complicated. So
Mm. I like
um,
that.
you can wield this magic staff as a staff or a longbow.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool. Yeah.
so it grants a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it.
Either as a bow or a staff.
Correct. Yes. So
Oh, that's
as a
cool.
bow, it does not require ammunition as it generates its own. While holding it, you also gain a +1 bonus to armor class, saving throws, and spell attack rolls.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I thought you might like that.
Okay. I love that.
The bow staff has 12 charges um, for the following properties. The bow staff will regain 2d4 plus 4 expended charges daily at dawn. If you expend the last charge, roll a 20. On a 1, the bow staff retains the +1 bonus to attack and damage, but loses all other properties. So it becomes just a staff at that point. It won't be a force bow. Okay.
And what are the charges that I'm using? Is
Yeah.
that the arrows?
So
No. Okay,
no,
good.
it has charges
Good.
above and beyond that. So
Good.
you may do what is called a power strike. When you hit with a missile or melee attack using the bow staff, you can expend 1 charge to deal an extra 1d6 force damage to the target.
Ooh, a little mini smite. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
It also, and you haven't quite unraveled all of the mystery of this yet,
Yep.
but it has a deeper power. These charges can also power spells that it can cast, that it can cast with your command words.
Oh.
So you may expend 1 or more of its charges based on what it is you're doing to cast one of the following spells from it. It uses your spell save DC and your spell attack bonus, which includes the +1. Right? You can add the +1 to it.
Yep.
It will do Cone of Cold for 5 charges. Fireball for 5 charges. Globe of Invulnerability for 6 charges. Hold Monster for 5 charges. Levitate for 2 charges. And Lightning Bolt for 5 charges. Now, the Lightning Bolt and Fireball are the 5th level version. So that's basically the basic run-of-the-mill Fireball, right?
Isn't Fireball a third level spell? Am I crazy?
The fifth level version. So you can do
So I can only upcast it. It's always cast at 5th level.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
It
All
and
right.
magic missile for 1 charge. Ray of enfeeblement for 1 charge. Or a wall of force for 5 charges.
Ooh. Oh boy. Okay. All right.
You also sense that you can use an action to break the bow staff over your knee or against a solid surface, performing what's called a retributive strike. The bow staff is destroyed and releases its remaining magic in an explosion that expands to fill a 30-foot radius sphere centered around it. You don't have an understanding of what kind of damage that will take, but you get an idea that it has to do with how many charges it has.
But that is, if that ever happens, there is no mending spell
Correct.
or anything like that that could fix this staff.
You destroy it
Yeah.
in that process.
Oh boy. Okay. That is a lot to take in. I need a cheat sheet for it.
Yep. I will make that up for you.
That is incredible. Okay. And this I found it was one of the bow staffs in the tomb.
Yeah, it was the only one. The other ones were part of statues.
Got it. We're part of the statues. Right. Okay.
So you can tell that story. Okay. All right. I want to also talk with Ezra, Tad. What is Ezra doing? I've heard from Robbie kind of what he wants to be doing, and I've heard from Kineas, of course, what he wants to be doing. It's always seeking more magic items. What is it that you are going to be doing before you guys leave Neverwinter? Obviously, something that won't take very long, but you'll go about town, go visit someplace, go do something. I didn't hear from you on that. So what do you have ideas of what you want to do?
So Ezra would probably want to go to just the local temple and pray. That'd probably be the first thing that he would do. After that, probably just hit up the bar and just have a couple beers. He's kind of a man of few words and finds comfort in drink. So he'd probably go to the nearest pub, eat, drink, probably find a place to like clean up. That's really all he would do. That he's more of someone who's like supporting the rest of the team. Unless it has something to do with Talos, with the cult of Talos, he really doesn't need to do a whole lot to take care of himself.
Okay. All right. Then what I think you'll end up doing is when you visit the temple, you will have one of the acolytes there calling out your name. And you haven't really announced yourself yet there at all, but he's calling out, is there an Ezra? Ezra? Looking for an Ezra?
Can he hear you?
What's that?
So there's an acolyte there in the temple that's calling out your name.
Yeah. So like, I'm Ezra. How can I help you?
Well, the great Moradin, because it's Moradin that you worship, right?
Correct. Yep.
While definitely Moradin is a dwarven god of violence in general, you are a cleric of Moradin, so you're like a combat medic, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's your general take on, I'm on the battlefield, I can deal out some damage, but I'm basically like a combat medic as well, helping support the soldiers so they don't necessarily all fall in battle, right? You buff them and you heal them. So he finds you and he says, I don't know why, but this came from the east, and he names, I forget off the top of my head right now where you were from, but he names that, and he says, so I'm not really sure what this is about, but he hands you a satchel, and he says, "This is for you, and to be delivered in personally to you."
Mm-hmm.
So you open it, and there is a scroll inside. I mean, you can kind of tell just by the way the bulk of the satchel is that it's a scroll. And so you crack that baby open, and you pull out the scroll, and you see that it has a spell on the spell scroll that is of the next level up that you can cast early. So I'll let you choose that.
Oh, sorry, say that. What was it?
A spell of the next level up. Spells you don't
Oh.
know yet. You haven't learned them yet. But this
Okay.
is a scroll of a spell that is one level up from you. And you may pick that spell out. So you can go look through the spell list and grab that. It can be anything of the next level up.
How does he only get to use it once?
It is a scroll.
Yeah.
Generally
So
speaking, those are one-use spells.
Okay. It's like
Okay.
the burn book. Once you burn it, it's
yeah.
All right. So, Ozus,
yes.
you catch word of where you kind of dig around a little bit, and you find where the Mastiff is waiting for you.
Yes.
And they were just finishing up all of the, the actual, the paperwork, etc., to have them sent down. But you've caught up to that person, and you're like, "Hey, I'm here, and you can just give it to me now." And so they do. Have you decided what your dog's name is?
Lunch. No, I'm kidding.
Arson?
No. I was thinking like Ember.
Okay.
What do you guys think, Ember?
I think anything like fire related would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Sparky.
I love Sparky or Ember are awesome.
Yeah.
Sparky. Okay, Sparky.
You want to be Sparky? Okay.
Yeah,
Just
I
writing
think that'd
that
be
down.
great. Yeah.
Sparky
Not
or
Lunch.
Ember.
Doom Dog?
Awesome.
Sparky the Doom Dog. I love it. We have a.
All right.
Let me write that down.
Okay. Then I will. See, let's duplicate.
Sparky the Doom Dog.
And let's move it out here. And then let's rename it.
Now it's a Mastiff. It's not a Fire Mastiff.
Right.
Right. Because that would, or hell. I was thinking of like
A Hellhound.
Hellhound, but that would. Hellhounds. I listened to several YouTubes, and it would be more trouble than it's worth. Because you have to feed them all the time, and it's they don't eat. Everything's normal for them.
Right. All right. So, where did you go? All right, Ozus. I'm gonna put this in your. You don't have an extras folder, so I'm gonna create one.
Do you want me to create a character
This is.
on D&D Beyond?
No, I got it for you.
Okay.
All right. So. Extras.
Under player channels.
All right, so I'm going to configure ownership. I'm going to set you, Ozus, to owner. And then of the dog, I'm going to set you to owner of that too. Configure ownership and owner.
And
All right.
what is
you get-
what is your ruling / thoughts on I don't know what you call it, a companion or it's not mount, like a companion in terms of flanking? Like, would it provide something or the help action?
Sure,
Like,
but
is it able
Yes.
to do that?
Just like Ollie, just like
Got it.
Nea, if you put your animal in danger if you do that.
Yeah, but but unlike Ollie or Nea, it wouldn't like neither of those would give you flanking, but would a dog because it's a
They
it's
give
a
you
thing on the
advantage.
ground.
If
Yeah,
you're
got it. Okay.
so if you tell your dog to attack, etc., right? Your
Yeah.
dog could certainly give you the help action.
Got it. Okay.
We're using the D&D Beyond stats for this Mastiff, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, do you see it in your list there? I gave you. You have a new folder now. It's called Extras Ozus.
Where's it underneath? I'm looking journal. Is it under journal?
No, it's under actors. It's an actor.
Under Oz's, I have Ash Zombie, Sparky the Doom Dog, and the Willow Wisp.
Yeah, so I'm getting rid of these other things. I don't know why you put them in there. You put them on your extras on your D&D Beyond character sheet. So it imported them as if they were companions or pets or whatever. So they're not. So I'm going to delete those. You were probably trying to keep track of what you were attacking and what their stats were and all that kind of stuff. Things I've fought, and you put them in your extras. But
Oh yeah, is
it's
that
a
a
long time
carry
ago.
over from D&D Beyond?
Oh yeah, it'll import it as extras because that's part of the importer. All right, so what I see now is you have your extras. You have Sparky the Doom Dog. You can change that name. You own that token. And I believe if you can't drag that out onto the board, I can, and then you'll be able to control it from there.
Okay.
Okay. So that is that's your new pet. Congratulations, proud owner of a pooch.
Well, it's the whole group. I mean, I'm going to get him to like everyone, so.
Listens to you. All right. All right. So then, Caneus.
Hello.
Yeah, so you go into a prestigious magic store in the Blue Lake district, and so you're kind of looking around, kind of window shopping a little bit, getting pretty serious about it, and you got your eye on a particular sword, and then you see the price tag. It's like 4,500 gold. I mean, they don't put price tags on weapons like that, right? So you had to ask, and then they went, if you have to ask, you cannot afford it. And then you get it out of him anyway. He tells you it's 4,500 gold, and you're like, oh, how much debt do I have to go into to own that, right? And then you start thinking, if I could sell this, what if I sold that? What if I sold this? I know we haven't really talked about who owns this one yet, but if I sell it, then maybe I'll get close. Maybe I can talk him down, right? And as you're doing that, you're kind of thinking over everything that you're going to be able to sell, etc. You notice out of the corner of your eye that from the one of the, like a skylight or a high up window in this magic shop, some sun rays are coming in and casting some sparkling light on one particular weapon. It just seems to fit right in where the beam of light seems to fall across, and it is a dagger. And this is like not a Caneus weapon, right?
Yeah.
Do you own a dagger? I don't think you do.
No, I don't. I mean, I might have I think I have a paper knife for cutting open letters, but
Right.
dagger, no.
Yeah. And so you do notice that it does say that it does have some very fancy scroll work on the blade. It's kind of a thick bladed, you know what a kukri looks like? It's kind of this curved blade, and it's kind of an Indian blade, right? I actually have a kukri down in my garage, but it's kind of a curved blade, so it kind of goes up like this, and it's got a big fat handle and a pretty good guard. It's more of an ornate weapon.
It's not a karambit, right? Which is a little smaller.
Right. So
Right, okay.
yes. So right. No, that's the one that isn't that the one that curves and you hold it like backwards, right? And
Yeah.
you like attack like this with it, and the blade comes out this side. Yeah.
Yeah, if I didn't have
I-
Jet sitting well,
Not
yeah,
like that.
I'd get mine.
This is a ceremonial weapon, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I think Alexander the Great owns something similar in design to it.
Okay. Yeah. So so you see this, and it does it looks like that it's got a particular kind of ink that was used to embed it into the metal of the blade. So it catches your eye in that regard, and the store owner sees you catch an eye on that, and he goes, "Well, that's a little bit more affordable, perhaps, maybe. I mean, it's still, it comes in at 2,000 gold, but it's a blade that is befitting even a warrior such as yourself, I'm sure. I mean, most of the time we see bards carry such a thing, or perhaps, you know, the roguish types, the diplomats, etc. It is said to imbue a more commanding presence, and perhaps it's called the diplomat's blade. So perhaps that is something that you might be interested in. Is that an area that you spend a lot of time in? Is diplomacy?
More than I would like recently, honestly.
I see. Well, that certainly could be yours. It's a fine blade, and of course, you know, while we don't, you know, we sell everything as is, I can guarantee you that it is absolutely not a cursed weapon, and is quite deft in a fight, should it be necessary for the pen to be mightier, or the blade to be mightier than the pen, not the other way around. You know what I'm saying? So you certainly could do that, but I understand that it also might help with your negotiations, etc.
I'm gonna look at this guy. Is he trying to sell me a cursed weapon?
No, he's not. No, he's totally above board. I'm not even gonna make you do an insight check on that.
Well,
No, this is a very reputable place. He's not trying to take you for anything.
okay. So there's something inscribed on the blade, right?
Yeah, it's all inked in with fancy scroll work. You recognize with your comprehend languages ability, you can still do that, right?
Oh yeah, totally. Once a day.
Yeah. So you look at it, and you recognize there might be some symbols in the writing, and it just simply says Kalamos.
Alamos.
But he says this blade also does come with its own sheath, quite fancy if you ask me. And he hands it to you. Of course, it's like mithril or something. It's very fancy. It's super nice, like you know, kind of inlaid with filigree, like mithril filigree, right? So it's very fancy looking with gold and mithril.
I mean, it's a nice blade. And so you're saying you give me a more commanding presence?
Well, that's what it's rumored to do. Yes, those who have wielded it before have. There's legends about it, as a matter of fact. Perhaps you would know.
Well, you know. Yes, stabbing, slicing. I have another day in the work.
Make a perception roll.
Sure. That's 15.
Yeah. So the sun is getting like not high anymore. It's headed toward afternoon, mid-afternoon, and you notice, oddly enough, that the you can see the sun out a different window in a different direction. That's where you can see where the sun is in the sky. It's odd.
I think it's like in case like is it I mean that is candor? I'll take it.
Okay. All right. So he sells you or gives you a certificate of authenticity. File that away somewhere, wherever you like, and hands you the blade. Of course, he wraps it up in a nice box and that sort of thing. And he goes, unless you would rather just carry it out.
I'll take the box.
Okay. All right. So he puts the blade in the box for you and puts some silk over around it and on, has a little bow on the inside, and then he puts the box lid on and he hands it over to you. It's a pleasure doing business. So that will be 2,000 gold. You'll need to deduct. And so you can sell the other ones that you talked about to get that amount if you like.
Yes, I'll sell the battle axe hue.
Yep.
And
then
I'll also
dragon teeth, you said?
yes, I have a complete set of young green and white dragon fangs.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I need to get rid of both of them?
Yep.
Okay. I was gonna sell these anyway while we were here. It's honestly what I've been waiting for.
That's the first time in Neverwinter since the start of the campaign, probably. Huh? You got
Yeah.
close a couple of times and then ended up turning around and going back. Okay, so you may go ahead and have a long rest. You do sense that this blade needs to be attuned to take advantage. It needs to be attuned to you in order for you to take advantage of whatever powers it has.
I will do that.
Okay, so this is nice. Pretty good portents, I'd say. Not grim at all. Not grim at all. All right, so Kalamos Fadosh is the true name of the blade.
Okay. And can I find that on D&D Beyond or?
Nope. This is a custom weapon. One thing you realize shortly after attuning to it is that it suddenly becomes the size of a longsword.
Ooh.
Still has the same
Yeah.
ornate writing scrawled across it. You can see more now. You make out the meaning of the word Kalamos Fadosh to be the pen of light, also known as. So you ask about this at the House of Knowledge, and there is nothing known about this aside from it is something out of legend known also as Doom Scrawler.
Doom Scrawler.
Yeah. This is probably Cantor's work.
So
I am very happy with it.
it is in its native form. Once you've attuned to it, it is in longsword form by default. However, you can shift it into dagger and short sword to be held in each hand, right? So when it is in longsword mode, it is a +1 sword that does a D8 slashing damage or a D10 if you're holding the longsword with two hands, right? In addition to that, because it is the Pen of Light, Kalamos Fadosh, the damage will also be increased by a D12 radiant damage.
Praise
In-
to near the all. Yeah.
In short sword and dagger form, as dual wielded weapons, in that mode, it will do a D6 piercing plus a D12 radiant damage. Both. So you will get two. You can use 2 attacks, right? D6, and they'll be at +1. Okay.
Wait, so question: are you saying that I can turn to both a short sword and a dagger at the same time?
Yes. Yep.
Oh.
So
Okay, nice.
there is a native ability to this weapon. Not only can it seem to shapeshift into one of 2 forms, but you can use what's called a Calamos Flourish. This requires 3 charges. Your sword has charges. As an action, or as only one of your actions, if you have more than one, you may choose the option that corresponds to Calamos's current form. If Calamos is a longsword, it will magically detach the longsword blade from its hilt, launching the blade at a creature that you can see within 30 feet. The target must make a DC 16 Dex saving throw. On a failed save, the target is impaled by the blade, doing 3d6 plus strength piercing damage, plus 1d6 radiant damage, and they are knocked prone. At the end of the current turn, the blade magically reattaches to the hilt.
Wow.
It would be funny if you could turn it into the rabbit from the Holy Grail.
Right. Now, when in short sword and dagger formation, the flourish then says that you can lash out with both weapons, and each creature of your choice within 10 feet must make a DC 16 dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 2d6 piercing damage and a d4 radiant damage, and has disadvantage on attack rolls until the start of your next turn. On a successful save, the creature will take half as much damage and suffers no other effects. So you may then do a Calamos shift. This costs you 1 charge. So to do a flourish costs 3 charges. To do a shift between forms, you may do this as a bonus action and expend 1 charge from the sword. You can have Calamos change its form. Choose one of the following forms: a longsword or a short sword in one hand and a dagger in the other. Calamos has 15 charges. Each day at dawn, it regains 2d6 charges. On a roll of 2, however, Calamos recovers 0 charges. It loses all of its current charges and changes to dagger-only form. You can no longer author the fate of others with this dagger until you recover. To recover, it must go unused for any fighting for at least 24 hours. At the next dawn after the 24 hours has passed, you can roll 2d6 again to try to regain charges again. But this time, on a roll of 3 or less, the same thing happens. Each subsequent dawn, the failure number increases by 1. If the failure number ever reaches 11 or less, all the magic is drained from Calamos, and it remains a mundane but quite pretty ornate dagger.
Okay. So question: if I get my charges back, does the counter reset?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's only if you fail does that counter go up.
Cool. I can deal with that.
So if you fail and refail and refail, it becomes easier to fail, right? So that's all.
Mhm.
Hey. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Noise.
Who are you and what did you do with Jim?
Oh, the bigger the prizes, the bigger the monster.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
I'm
exactly.
certain.
I don't
I'm
think this
certain
is
that every encounter is going to need a
gonna
wall
hurt him.
of force.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I always wanted to use this little creature right here.
I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to take that with what they've got right now. Let's give them some more stuff so I can
Let's
lay
both
them
magic
alive.
item. Nice.
Okay, so
Now, we're not back at Leylon. Where are we? We're
you are. I'm assuming you're going to leave. You're going to leave Neverwinter and head back south.
okay. Okay.
You kind of got what else you needed to get. That's my understanding, right?
Yeah.
Unless I'm wrong
Yeah.
on that.
Right.
And did I find any information out while I was at the House of Knowledge?
Oh yeah. No, I did forget about that a little bit. Hold on. Yeah. So you find that you may know a little bit about the reign of Ebendeth and how he came to be. So Ebendeth used to rule over the Mirror of Dead Men. Did you know that?
I think you
So-
might have mentioned it in passing.
Yeah. So in 631 DR stands for Dale Reckoning, which is the calendar that we're using right now, the Harptos calendar. So at 631 DR, Ebendeth took over the Mirror of Dead Men, making his home in the ruined Uth Tower. So in 146, Uth Tower was established as a kingdom and a tower. So that's what it was called. There was no mirror at that point. So something happened between 146 DR and 631 DR that ruined the kingdom of Uth Tower and made it so that Ebendeth certainly was able just to move in, right? Maybe he was responsible, maybe not. You know, there were things like the Troll Wars and such that went on around that time as well. 922, Ebendeth disappeared, becoming a Dracolich at the behest of Strongar Bonebag, who was a priest of Merkel and member of the Cult of the Dragon. The Ebendeth sect at that time was formed, and they began worshiping him at the mausoleum of Ebendeth, created at the Oath Tower. In 1002 or maybe 12,002, hard to say. So there are conflicting records, and they haven't been able to sort out which is which because it was a while ago. Under the Eye of Merkel, Ebendeth's bones disintegrated into dust. The Eye of Merkel is a special heavenly event where the moon of Seyloon is surrounded by the certain stars called the Eye of Merkel. So that's pretty much, and there is little or nothing to know of Ularan Mortis. He hasn't been around long enough to establish necessarily that.
No, like reports of he's sacked this town or.
Well, he's not so historical at this point, right? No, and he hasn't taken credit for any sacking of any towns, but hard to say exactly what happened. So. An astronomical event known as the Eye of Merkel once again occurred, and 3 rings of Merkel were brought close to the tower. Oh, there were all these magic rings as well, rings of Merkel. And the waxing power of Merkel caused the tower and catacombs to rise from the swamp and drain the filthy waters from within it. The youth tower only remained above the surface until the event passed, at which point it sank back below the marsh, possibly for good.
Question: are there any old maps of the area where the youth tower would have been?
No, those have all been lost. There are no good or accurate maps. There's, some general maps that aren't specific. Like they're not regional. They're bigger than that, right? Like the whole Sword Coast, that sort of thing. So not going to give you a great idea. Plus, when Uth Tower was a kingdom, there was no Mirror of Dead Men. That had something to do with Iniarv, who was a lich that the king of Uth appealed to him to save them from the troll wars. The trolls were taking over the whole area and killing off everyone in his kingdom. And they appealed to this lich who was not interested in local affairs such as that. So what he did is he created the Mirror of Dead Men. He caused the sea to flood in through all of the area and to wipe out all sides. There were very few survivors on either side from him doing that. So there you go. That's all there is to really know about that.
Yep. I'm guessing a whole sleepless night in the library for Kneas.
Okay. So, very good. So now all of you, are you headed back to Neverwinter now? Zith? Not Neverwinter. I meant Leylon.
Yes.
Are you headed back to
Zith
Leylon?
is-
And Zith, are you staying in Leylon, or are you going to head up to try to...
Yeah, no, I would. So after the encounter with Hussein, I would go. I don't know what time it would be, but I would make my way back to Leylon, because the other thing I wanted to do was keep an eye on. We were trying to push them to build more of the armaments and the defenses, and part of the reason I stayed was to make sure that they are doing that and lend a hand or try and accelerate things that they were building as much as I could.
So you could stay in Leylon and help build. They need help getting the palisade walls finished. They're doing a lot of digging, right? So they're digging a trench around the outside of the town and building up on the inside of the trench, building up a big berm. And that's where they put the palisade wall up on top of that. So you could certainly help finish constructing that and getting the towers, the guard towers along the high road and the road to the east that goes into the Sword Mountains. You could get those built up and work on building those guard towers as well.
Yeah,
with good gates and that sort of thing.
And I would keep doing that until, if there was a point where I thought the guys should be back and they weren't back yet, that's the point at which I would be like, oh, maybe I should go, north. Oops, sorry, Siri. That's the point at which I would probably not abandon Leylon, but leave and maybe take my way up on the route to Neverwinter and in search of them in case I thought they needed help.
Okay.
My assumption would be that they'd run into no issues and that they'd go to Neverwinter and be right back.
All right, cool. Yeah, so they took a little bit longer, maybe an extra day or two. So if you're going to head up there after that period of time and they haven't come back yet, like they aren't back the day you thought they'd be back, so then you're going to pack it up and go.
Yep.
Then that's what you do. So you will meet actually I think you'll meet them halfway between the Wayside Inn and Leylon. As they're heading south, you'll encounter them heading north.
Okay, right. And then would I? Well, I guess out of character. How close is where I'm meeting them to this tower that they did not fully
Not
explore
close.
and the bridge? Okay.
Not
Okay.
close. That's like 3 more days away.
Got it. Okay.
2.5 maybe.
So when I come upon them, they'd see little, 4'10" Zith with this giant thing that looked like a staff, just like
6 foot tall
coming
staff.
towards coming towards them, using it as sort of a walking staff.
He's gone full wizard, guys. Look out.
boys, what is taking you so long? We need to get back. When would the reinforcements come from Mr. Neverember?
We're lucky about 3 days after Never.
What is that a joke? What do you mean never? You told them what's happening, right?
Yes, I did. Unfortunately, we didn't have any solid proof, and he was very, very busy planning raids to the north and other stuff. He's gonna send some help, but I don't think it's gonna be very much.
He kind of blew us off.
Did you tell him about the undead armies that are surely going to attack and sooner or later head to Neverwinter?
Yes.
Yep. And he blew us off.
Well, that is not great, but I guess there's nothing to do except head back. I have some stories to tell you about my week or so here. But that is truly sad news.
What the heck are you carrying?
I'll explain that to you on the way home. I haven't really figured it out yet.
Also, question. Should we deal with that tower we found?
You aren't asking me, right? You're asking the boys.
Yeah, I'm asking.
Yeah.
Asking the group. I will explain to you what happened. Over like a pint of. Yeah, so we found a crazy tower with a beholder dragon.
That doesn't sound good.
No.
Was it there when you came back? I mean, did you pass the tower on the way back here?
Did we?
No, it's off the high road quite a distance. It was like
a
few miles.
It's a distance from the high road.
Hmm.
On some forgotten road.
Not exactly along the beaten path, but still, beholder dragon.
And did the open grate speak to you somehow? I mean, I'm all about a good dungeon run, but what about that was enticing?
Well, the tower was effing weird to start with. One, there was like a couple upper floors that it had no way to get, no stairs, no ladders, no opening in the ceiling to move. It was almost like the front was a facade.
Jim, would I have heard of anything like this through my studies? Like,
You tell me. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of books about magic stuff and wizards.
Sometimes wizards use magical means to move about their towers as opposed to stairs.
That's what I was thinking.
Mundane. So mundane.
Yeah.
When you're powerful enough to have your own tower, you can start doing cool stuff with it. Zith, you could have a tower someday.
I was just going to say, someday it will be mine.
This tower is really, really old. Goes back thousands of years, probably.
So far older than the Tower of Thalavar. Far older.
Oh yeah, way older.
Millennia older. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So old ancient elven tower.
I would be interested in that. I am one to get back in touch with my people, but
Maybe even dwarvish at some point, or back when they got along. Who knows?
Tendays, do you feel like we should go back?
I mean, I think we probably should, because I don't think anyone else knows about it. But also, it's not an immediate threat, and we do have other work to do.
What's all this fancy stuff you got? What is that funny looking sword?
This is Kalamos. And I explain what that is. I think a gift either from. I think it's a gift from my patron.
Don't you and your patron talk? Like,
No, but
I thought you guys were tight.
We have a complicated relationship. But hey, if he gives me gifts, I'm willing to accept whatever he needs me to do.
Zith would finally see the Mastiff, and not being. I mean, personally, I'm a huge fan of dogs, and we have a lot of dogs. But Zith would be like, "And what is that?"
That's Sparky. He's the doomed dog. Is he just a puppy at this point? You should say he's just a puppy.
He's probably, he's probably like 3 or 4 months old.
Okay, so he would be small instead of a medium size.
No, he's got more to go, but he's already pretty big.
Okay.
I would ask.
Calling the dog the doomed dog.
Did you steal him for food, or
No.
or did you lose a bet, or why did you bring that thing?
I've been looking for one.
It's another month to feed and something else to take care of.
Yeah, well, someone's got to eat my bad bacon. And he doesn't seem to mind. Sure. And I pull out like a chunk of. It looks like charcoal, but it's really bacon that's cooked.
It's shitty cooked, dried, burnt meat.
It's just black, and he just gives it to me to eat it.
He loves it. Absolutely
he's just going nuts. His tail is wagging, and he's running around,
licking the ground afterward, trying to get any little pieces that crumbled out of his mouth.
Yeah. I figured we keep running across things that he could probably carry, or he can definitely, he can be our hero dog. What's that, Lassie? Where's the boy drowning? So.
And what did Ezra get? I forget. What
I got a scroll.
Magic beyond his means.
Oh, magic beyond his means. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, defensive building has been carrying on. I've been helping as much as I can. Leylon is getting more defensible. I still am not clear whether it's going to actually stop an army of the dead if Ulurang gets his way. But I did go into the mirror, and I checked one of the places on the map. I would sort of like scrunch my face up, like remembering what happened and not really talk about it. Just sort of. I went to one place, and there's many more to go check out. But hurry, we should get back.
I was about to ask for that. We still have that dragon job, don't we? Check out that temple or whatever. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Oh, to get rid of that, to go investigate a dragon, right?
Oh, we should look at. Well, if we're back in town, we should look at the board.
Our job board, yeah. So we go back.
go back, or if we can remember what it is, I would just say, why go back when we just head out now?
Oh, right. Would we have remembered that? Because that was a minute ago. I guess in real time, it wasn't that long ago. Is it in our log?
No, I found that I've got the job board, but it looks like it's the go north along the coast and track the bronze dragon.
Is that still a live quest?
Is there a way to refresh this?
That's it. That's the one you never done.
Yeah,
You guys
I
pulled that
remember-
off the board.
La Mahamarana. That's the clause of the Mr. L. BDL. Bronze Dragon. Oh, excuse me. Her.
Oh, I mean, if it's the bronze dragon, then we should be fine, right?
Ask for a chance
Figure
to
out-
worship in the shrine of Bahamut. This sounds like a date. This sounds like a vacation. And over here on the left, we have a chance to worship the shrine of Bahamut. You can receive visions and threats and facing Leylon.
Wait, what? What did you say?
You receive visions.
Let's go.
This is, we call this Timothy Leary.
You had me at visions.
I got you at visions of Leylon.
I had to babysit him once. What a pain.
You really did?
Yeah, in college.
That's
He came to
incredible. That's
speak-
incredible.
He came to speak at our school.
That is incredible.
Yeah. He's a cool guy, though.
And was he on one?
He wanted to
Was
smoke
he-
a joint at the podium, and we told him the state of New Jersey would arrest him. So after he did his little speech, we took him over to Studio 54. I'll leave it at that.
Oh, got it. Yep. Smart. Okay. Does from the description of the job, does it seem like we're near where that might be?
Go north. Bronze Dragon. The Claws of the Coast. Wow. She's like a biker. Biker dragon.
I mean, Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, but bronze dragons are usually good creatures, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm a little. I mean, they can be bad if I remember correctly, but they can also be good. Aren't they kind of neutral?
I mean, I know Bahamut's supposedly a good god. We used to have a friend who worshipped him.
Maybe she's in danger.
So, question: when it says north, is that like goes head north or head into like a cold area that has snow?
I'll give you an option. It's up.
Yeah, my question is: should Canadians be packing winter clothing?
Yeah, it's cold
Oz,
out.
Oz is like he goes like this, and flames come from both of his palms. He's not really worried. And Sparky's running around like, this is cold. It's not a problem here.
Okay, so before we go, we're gonna need to pack up on some winter clothes, but I think we should be fine after that.
Are we
So
gonna need to
north
rest?
is somewhere along the north of the coast.
Yeah.
On the coast. right?
Yep. Yep.
So maybe not quite as far as the Tower of Storms, but maybe somewhere along that way. Between Leylon Point that you went to and the Tower of Storms.
And did they just come down this road to come back from Neverwinter? Is this the same road?
Yeah.
Or is Neverwinter south?
It's the high road. Neverwinter's north. You can see it
Yeah.
on the map. If you zoom out a little bit, the high road goes up to north to Neverwinter.
Yeah.
It goes past
this bronze-
Neverwinter.
And this bronze dragon, like we probably met somewhere like here. Is this where we are? Like, oh, I can't make the X on the map. Oh, there.
Yeah. So you guys met up. So this is where the Wayside Inn is, right here.
Right.
Got it. Got it.
You guys met somewhere around here.
So we'll be going north on the high road. And
From
not
Leylon.
north. Yeah, from Leylon. We won't be going through Coneberry and up to the Star Metal Hills. We'll be coming
you'll
all the way
actually
up here.
Probably kind of go toward where Leylon Point was, but then take the coast north from there.
Oh, so we'll be up
We're
here.
So we'll be heading south.
The Tower of Storms is somewhere right about here.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be somewhere between that and Leylon Point down here.
Okay.
So you've got
Well,
about
let's go. I mean, we're
10,
close.
15 miles to explore.
Yep.
Okay.
So kind of where you've met, if you just head over toward the coast from there and then start going south, you probably run into it that way too.
Yeah. I love it.
So we're going to be fine weather-wise, as far as I can tell.
I'm not sure if this is going to load. It did not load for me just a minute ago. Just all gray, isn't it? No map.
It's
Caverns.
black to me. You don't
All
own any
right.
tokens for that.
Stand by, because you're not on there, but I would kind of also expect there to be a picture for me, and I don't see one. So, and the compendiums.
I assume you guys would have told me about the Beholder and the bridge and stuff, right?
I hope so.
Oh, yeah.
I guess. Yeah, we would have had
I'd
plenty
be
of time to
grilling-
tell you.
I'd be grilling Taddy about the banishment spell because I don't have it. Like, how was it? I've read about it. Like, was it crazy? How did you do it?
I just looked at him. I held up my my what's it called? My emblem. And I banish you and snap my fingers. He was gone.
So now, as
Did
we're
He really
talking,
downplays it, doesn't he?
Really does. Sell it
Yeah.
a little bit more,
That,
Daddy. I'm
but
just
that's
like,
Ezra.
I would be
Ezra
like,
doesn't look for
what do you
glory.
mean you held it? Like, do you have to say words? Like, I would have to say words. I don't know. I've only read about this spell. I can't personally cast it.
Oz is like he can. I could. I could learn it, but then I'd have to give up Revivify. So should we give up Revivify and two of us have banishment?
Never.
We have two
No.
Why would
healers
you-
now. No.
I
No.
have
Why would you
Revivify as
Give
well.
up for Vivify?
Okay. You
Oh,
have
yeah,
Revivify too?
Your healer has
Yes, I do.
Revivify.
If Taddy has it,
Wait.
yeah.
Is it a class feature for you, or is it a something
It's
you
probably
chose?
a known spell.
See, for me, it's not a known spell.
Yeah.
It is a known spell.
For me.
Well, then I should swap up something we might need. Like we should all discuss this and tactics and stuff.
Yeah. I'll grill you about your scroll. Like, how do you think it worked, and what spell did you pick?
It was like
I was-
that. It was like
It's
that.
like,
It was
what do
nice.
you mean? What do you
Well, I
mean you
didn't-
get to cast a spell like that intense of a
Yeah,
spell?
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't pick a scroll yet. Do you guys have like any ideas for?
So
for
what?
me
So
in
what
terms
level
of-
are you? Like what level are
I'm
you?
still level 8. I'm like
So you're
pretty close to
casting.
9.
What is it?
Do you
You're
have
casting
summon
4th level spells?
Celestial?
Do I
Ooh,
have
that's
Summon
good.
Celestial? I don't believe so.
Boy, this is taking a while to load up.
Oh, you could bring. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm trying to reload the map in, and so it's kind of I forced it to reload a lot more than just the map, just so I could get the map.
Yeah. Yep. I know how
So
to.
Tad, what's the highest level spell you could cast? 4 or 5?
Well, he's got that scroll now that he could use.
I don't know. I'm saying, like, I'm trying to figure out what level of the spell can be.
4
As
is,
high as
is
you
the
want.
highest I have currently.
4 is the highest you have.
Correct.
And Jim, did you say that he could cast 1 level higher or any
Yes.
higher level spell?
No, one level higher. So he could pick
One
out any
level
5th
higher.
level spell he wants. And
Ooh.
It's nice
Ooh,
to
you know
have.
what you could do? There's Plane Shift, Resurrection, and what is it? Conjure Celestial, yep. And Mass Harm and Heal are intense spells for sure.
Oh yeah.
Is there
Also, I'm
Fancy
looking to
Feast?
never go Conjure Celestial. Always do Summon Celestial.
Do we
Conjure
have
is not that.
Do we have access to Fancy Feast? That's a fun spell.
He is Heroes Feast.
Is that what it is? The Heroes Feast, or it's
Fancy
because
Feast is a cat food.
no, Fancy Feast is also, I've heard it in where did I hear it? Where
I
did
think
I
you're talking
hear
about Heroes Feast.
Heroes Feast is something that he could do. It would be very on brand for Taddy to do that for sure. But
Heroes Feast.
harm is pretty insane.
Eat,
It's
drink,
only
and
one
be
creature though.
merry.
I think Critical Role calls it Fancy Feast.
I think you're thinking of the cat food, dude.
No, I'll have to.
Oh no, that's the
girl-
spell that Matt Mercer removed from existence.
Right, because they had the Fancy Feast because they were
They
on the
were
big
using
turtle.
it all the time, and he hated it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
A Fancy
like-
Feast.
he's like a monster went wish, and it never existed anymore.
Oh, you use Commune.
Classic Jim move.
We're still in the dark
I'm gonna
here.
let you talk to your god.
Yep. The map is loaded though, so that's you're there. You just can't see anything yet because you're not there. It's loaded, but you can't see it yet.
Okay.
All right, so I'm just getting the other stuff preloaded
That's it.
and ready for you.
That's right. Laura is constantly saying Fancy Feast, and it's driving him nuts.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah. Fancy Feast. She kept saying it over again.
So the sea splashes on the bottom of a rocky cliff carved to look like a 60-foot tall dragon
Good thing I have
with
water walk.
a ribbed and fluted crest around its head. The dragon's mouth is open in a triumphant roar, facing the ocean and standing on its hind legs.
Hmm.
You have reached the bronze shrine. Please leave a message after. No. So it's about you're roughly somewhere in the vicinity of 40 miles north of Leylon. I guess. Could have been off in my estimations earlier. And coming in by land, it's possible, as you can see, as you're looking south, right? You're walking south along the coast. You're south of the Tower of Storms, and you can see the cliff face, right? Because you're right next to where all the cliffs are and stuff as you're going up and down and along the coast. And so you can see ahead that there's this big, especially large, jutting out, big granite cliff, basically, and carved into that cliff is the whole visage of this dragon. So, I think I was the opposite. Instead of being between Leyland Point and Tower of Storms, it's between Tower of Storms and like where you went to for the Thundercliff, somewhere in there. So let me see. I'm going to pull up this map of the Sword Coast again real quick. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Yeah, it's north of the Wayside Inn along the coast. So not quite as far as I believe the Thundercliffs were. So, but there you go. So you're actually traveling north toward it. You see it along the cliff face ahead. Certainly a daunting thing for ships to see as they go by. This big dragon carved into the cliffside. So there are 4 entrances. Let's see. 2 of them are up on land. So what you can see is the shrine itself has let's see. So obviously you could go in through the dragon's mouth if you could get to it. So those who can fly or levitate, you could get there, but it is 60 feet above the surface of the water on this cliff. There are windows that make for like the, part of the dragon's carving, etc. But yeah, you'd have to probably figure out how to climb the shrine to find the easiest way in.
So, there's no like exterior like shrine to Bahamut. There's the big temple inside.
Yeah, it's inside the cliff.
His brilliant idea was to put a temple inside a cliff.
Well, wait, are we on the water? We're not on the water.
No, you're on the
On the
cliff.
coast.
Yeah,
On the cliff itself.
You're on the coast. There are these like domed areas along the top of the cliff. So if you maybe poked around there, you might find some other way in, but you could climb the shrine or maybe look for another way in, but that might take you some time to go dig around.
I mean, we're not in a rush, so.
Well, that's what Sparky could do for us. I'll have him go off and, let him see if he can find an alternative route up there.
Okay.
We can climb or find another additional path.
Yeah, behind some overgrown bushes, you find what appears to be a gate that goes down into the shrine. So there's a gate, is locked. So you might have to find your way through the barred gates, but the gates are like leading into a tunnel, right? That goes down. There's like this staircase. Think of it like the entrance to a subway or something, right?
Locked
And the
gates, huh?
It's locked.
Yeah, they're chained up, locked, barred.
Is there a keyhole?
Sure.
Oh,
there are probably a few.
Least.
It's barred as well, though, so you may have to figure out how to get the bar off the other side. But these are definitely large, very stoutly banded, wooden and metal bound gates, right? It's not like an iron, a cast iron gate, ornamental around the mansion. Nothing like that. This is a pretty big deal.
So,
Well,
like, we can see can we see the bar on the other side that's holding it?
No, I mean maybe through some of the cracks.
Like we
in the
investigate
wood, if
it.
it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So, is it wood or metal?
Both. Very thick wood, like 10 by 10, 8 by 8, something like that. Very thick beams of wood bound by maybe iron and something at least as hard, steel of some sort. So you could work your way through this. I'll tell you what.
Okay.
Zith, you look at this and you go, okay. It'd probably take me about an hour and it'd be kind of noisy, but I could get through that gate.
Yeah.
you're pretty confident, but it would take you quite a while, right? And if there is anyone else around here, they would probably know that you were doing it. You'd use your
Trying to
crowbar,
pick it or dismantle it.
In
like
other
you'd
words,
have
we're going
to,
to make a lot of noise.
yeah. So you'd have to
It's
use
not going to be quiet.
crowbars. You may have to bend some of the metal to get some of the wood loose enough to get through to get to the bar behind it,
Oh,
which is,
what?
things like that. So,
Oz just steps back and says, "I use my Uma Thurman. It's a locked gate, right? It's a locked door."
Oh, that's not gonna work here, dude.
I don't think that'll work with this level of security.
It's an unlocked door or window. Does it work? If it's locked, can I unlock it with my thaumaturgy?
no,
I don't think that
Okay.
you can
Yeah, you can only
open
open the-
things, but not lock things. That would
Yeah.
require the knock spell.
Oh,
So
okay.
Jim, what my initial plan was I was going to take a look, investigate, see what I could find out about the lock, see if I thought I could pick it, and then if I could, or locks, I was going to misty step to the other side and deal with the bar. So trying not to draw as much of attention as you suggested, but I don't know if doing that would reduce the time or the volume of what we're trying to do.
Yes. So if you're on the other side, it'll obviously be much easier to unlock it.
So I'll do that. So I'll take my lock pickers, crack at whatever's on this side. Maybe we'll give it a push, or we could see through the slats and see that there's a bar also on the other side. So I'll do whatever I can do on this side to my satisfaction, and then I'll tell the guys I'll see you on the other side, and then I sort of put my hood on, hold my wand, and pop to the other side and start to work on the bar.
Okay. Good.
Sparky and I,
Then go ahead. What were we going to say?
Sparky and I are just, while they're doing this, are just walking up down the path to see if we see anything that's note of interest.
You find it interesting the shrine, the buildings themselves which are just kind of domes that are kind of sticking up a little bit out of the ground, and there's trees and other coastal foliage all around. You don't find anything else of particular interest, but aside from the statue itself, the head of the dragon actually comes up and out over the cliff. So it's really quite a feat for imagine like
It wasn't easy to carve.
yeah, like it could have been 4 presidents, it could have 4 dragons or something. It's impressive nonetheless, right? Quite a
Right.
carving.
So it's polished and everything. It's not old. It's polished and
it seems to be kept. Yeah.
okay. Impressive.
So while we're waiting, I will summon Anea back. Yeah. So that way she's out with me.
All right, you're gonna summon Anea. Got it.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of pop her back out of her pocket dimension.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sparky
Sounds
gets all
good.
excited. He gets all excited. I gotta calm him down. He starts barking.
So did it unlock all the locks on the side?
Does what unlock all the locks? What did you say?
Is
Zith.
it-
Oh,
Zith.
Zith. I thought you said this. Sorry. I'm like, does this what? Zith is able to. He's done some work on this side first, and then he was with that, he's able to kind of see through, get them to part a little bit. He can see through and teleport to the other side. And so Zith, I want you to make a stealth check.
I would be happy to, Jim. Happy.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
See just how stealthy
Oh.
one can be. Only an 18.
With a 6.
Right.
Wow.
Okay, so you will die quietly. That's what I like to hear.
Nobody heard from Zip again.
Just
Right.
bones.
He teleported away, and then he was so quiet, they never heard from him again.
Thank
Is
you,
there
YouTube.
anything
It's been great.
Is there anything unusual about this gate? Like, do we know like a civilization that might have built it, or I
No,
thought
this is
dwarves were really good at
probably
watch.
draconic in nature. This is a
Oh.
dragon shrine.
Well, I speak dragon.
Oh, do you?
I'm double checking. I'm pretty sure I do. Oh no, I don't. Common, infernal, orc, and abyssal. Sorry, my bad.
I have a dragon translator, so I'm fine.
Oh, well then, see if you can read anything. And Oz is kind of just like, do you pick anything up?
I mean, the gate has a draconic design. There's no words, are there?
It's like, is anything scrolled on it?
Jim?
Anything scrolled on what? The gate?
On the gate, yeah.
Yes, of course there is. Duh.
Oh, see, I knew it. It's in Braille, right? It's in Braille, Russian Braille.
Well, I can read it every language, so
Okay.
It is in Draconic, and it says Lamaruntos. The is it the Good Mother? Let's see the hold on. She has a couple of names,
It's not nice to pull Mother Nature.
right? The Mother Worm is what she's referred to.
Tequila?
A home of the Mother Worm. Has a big bottle of tequila, 60-foot tall bottle, like dragon shaped tequila.
Come back on Make Bet.
Right.
How did
all
my
right.
stealthiness and bar checking do there, Jim?
You're doing just great.
We're sitting. So we can see him doing all his work, right?
No, you can't.
Oh, we
He
can't.
teleported
Oh, okay.
behind the gate. You could barely make out some things he's doing, but you have to work on both ends. They are locked with kind of like a mechanism.
Mm.
And so you have to kind of move this mechanism. It's almost like a big lever that then like retracts the ends a little bit so that you can then turn it. And then the whole thing rotates and becomes vertical. And then you can open the gate.
Mm.
Oh, it's like playing Myst.
Something like that.
But no sense of like a trap while I'm doing this, right? I'm like being careful, checking it out.
You are correct. So there is no trap. It simply was barred and locked, and so you were able to take care of that pretty easily. So I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on the map
With the bronze dragon.
now at this point. All right, so I'm just going to. I think. Let's see.
And can somebody read the actual quest for a job again? I think you had this. I can't find. Like, I don't know where to find it. I just wanted to read it one more time before we get into this mayhem.
Where did I have it?
Who's that?
I got Go north
Is that-
along the coast and track the bronze dragon. Laham
And-
or Unta, the claw of the coast, to her lair. This location looks like a bronze dragon carved into the side of a cliff,
Yeah,
overlooking the sea.
yeah.
Ask for a
Found
chance
it.
to worship at the shrine to Bahamut. You may receive visions of the threats facing Leylon. Report threats you vie into the town council to collect a reward of 1,000 gold.
Great.
Yeah, this
All
is
of these things I
a-
like.
Yeah, it's just an info quest.
Love it.
So if you go to Player Journals, Leylon Landmarks, you'll find the job board there under Idle Island.
Who's
You
this
can-
Joker? Who's this
You
Joker
can also
here?
that is someone standing guard.
Uh-oh.
He is wearing a faded blue tabard, and so he appears to be older human, and he has that. There is a symbol on his tabard. As he turns to see you, he looks and he gets a little bit of a surprised look on his face, and out comes his sword.
And the little Joker on the right. Same thing.
The Joker on the right.
I see another guy on the right, or half a guy.
Yep. There's one on each side. So they have rapiers and daggers, and they both come out.
Who's the charming one here? Kineas, right?
I have I'm okay with charm. Not great, but I'm okay. Got plus 5 to persuasion.
Yeah, I got. Hold on, I'm just gonna check. I got nothing. I think I have a -1. Yeah, so I would tell him like, I would tell him like, I would put up my hands up. I don't know why I'm in front. Our banishment heavy armor guys in back. Like I don't know how this happened, but I would put my hands up and be like, Knights, tell him that like we just want to pray at the altar. We need the visions. And this hand would be far away from his weapon. I guess my hands would be up. I'd probably lay my staff down.
Hello. So sorry for disturbing you. We are a group of adventurers from the town of Leylon. We are here to worship at the shrine of Bahamut. We're so sorry for disturbing you in this way, but we couldn't find another way in, and we didn't realize anyone else was here at the moment. Like I said, we're so sorry for coming in the way we did, but we mean you no harm.
Zith starts seeing all these like thugs start appearing and not feeling great.
Do I need to roll persuasion or anything, Jim?
I think that you should roll persuasion, for sure.
Can I help him?
What are you doing to help?
I would just be whispering in as you're like, tell him that we're all good, and like I'm a
You're
wizard,
coaching him as he
and
goes.
I like know stuff, and I think really I could save a lot of people if just tell him that.
I'm honestly just easy to ignore Zith because keeping it simple is the best. Is the best thing. So do I roll straight or with advantage?
Are you proficient in persuasion, Sith?
I am.
I'm not proficient. No.
Okay, so I'd like you, Zith, to roll a persuasion check, and
boy.
if he fails it, then that may put you at disadvantage. If he succeeds, then you can have advantage.
I'm willing to take those odds.
You haven't heard the DC
Let me
yet.
just look at one thing before we.
Fireball.
What is the DC, Jim? Do we have one, or am I just going to roll and you're going to tell
I'm
me?
going to roll. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't love that. Okay.
I know, I
I'm
know, I
going
know.
to. I'm
Sorry,
going
not
to.
sorry.
It's okay. I'm going to. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Fine, Jim. Fine.
Uh-huh.
Um.
Let's see if you do more harm than good. Give it a shot. Hey, look
Better
at
than what my first
that.
plan was.
At a
But I don't know if it makes it.
-1. All right, you can have advantage.
All right.
Hey,
Right.
okay.
That works.
Yeah. This is not my first time trying to. Okay. And I don't know why it's not letting me do that. Let me see. Rolling a second one. I got a 16.
All right. Well, so this guy looks at you and he says, he's like, there's no need to break in. You could have just asked.
Honestly, we didn't know how. Didn't know anyone was here. Places. I mean, what was the outside looking like? Like, was it in good repair or?
No, it looked pretty good. I mean, I'm really impressed, and
It seemed to be kept
uh,
up. However, the
yeah.
entrance was covered, was fairly well hidden.
Yeah.
Listen, this is no shoddy. The carving just, I like to carve them, have carved me. If I ever become a hero someday in Oz's kind of poses, they did a great job. And he looked at the garden. He's like, very beautiful carving.
So they kind of settled down a little bit, and you can see behind them there is a 20,000-pound, 25-foot tall marble statue of Bahamut
Yeah, see,
in the
it
center of
looks
that
beautiful.
chamber. It's encircled by a hoard of treasure on the floor. They
I will
seem to be taking up kind of a defensive posture with you, but it's not like red alert. It's just, deflector shields are up kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this the look that will. Hopefully he'll understand as touch a single piece of that gold, and I will cut you down right here and right now.
What? By the way,
Who,
Jen, the dog.
who did you say that to?
Sparky should have a better fog. When I hit Sparky, I can see everything.
Oh,
I'm glaring at I give this a quick deep soul stare of, if you fucking touch that gold, I will kill you. We are not stealing from a god.
Oh,
Not a
so
good
you're
god
saying,
anyway.
yeah. In other words, you're saying we're not taking this gold.
Yeah, not a single
Zith
Yeah.
would look at you, and I would look away. Like seeing what you're doing, I would be like, I know, it's shameful. I had the same thought, or I had the thought, like you knew. Fine.
Yes, I remember how we met.
Yeah.
So the guard
Yep.
sees us all talking like this to each other. What does he start to do?
they're just standing up there like,
We're like a bunch of hens.
so you've come to worship.
Yes.
Okay, so
Zith
we
would
should
quickly say yes.
So as we're all talking, let's all just move up just by 5 every time we're talking.
I would pick my staff back up, but still look very harmless. One hand up, one hand on my staff.
There isn't a lot. There isn't a lot that looks harmless about your staff. It looks pretty fancy.
Like we're all going on like hens, like
I mean, I didn't
Keep
say
on
shit
moving.
out loud. It was just a.
Well, we
mental
should tell them why we're
side
here.
conversation.
Listen, we're here because someone posted something with Leylon that basically there's some trouble.
What are you talking about? This pile of treasure, by the way, looks like Zith is quickly counting it in his head. 500 gold, probably. There's some pearls. There's a bunch of platinum, more platinum than there Oh, let's see. No, there's some paintings. There's a cloak that's got a little bit of a glow going on. There's a
okay.
scimitar. Looks like a bit of a glow going on there. It looks like there's a pretty good amount of treasure. There's probably a total of somewhere around 8 or 9,000 gold pieces.
Okay, so we should tell them that we're here to worship Bahamut, to see a vision of Leylon. And we should try to explain to them what we've been doing on Leylon, and we feel very close to it, and we don't want it threatened.
I mean, you can if you want.
That sounds very reasonable. I like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, that's why we're here, because there's someone said that we can get a vision of what's going on in the town because there seems to be a threat and we want to stop it. We definitely need you no harm, and we definitely don't want to take any gold. Maybe you can tell us what we need to offer up in order to see a vision.
There we go.
Well, some people do come here to seek the wisdom of the great dragon. Each has their own path, but
So they're all staying in spot. They're not moving around with us.
no, they've like got a little bit of a zone defense going on.
Okay. So Oz is just like, well, where's the guest book? Where do we sign up?
But is
It
there
would
an actual
slowly-
dragon here?
It's a big
No,
statue.
I think
The statue.
I think it's a big statue. We're definitely outnumbered, that's for sure. Ozzy goes down and tells Sparky to stay right here. Stay right here. Stay where you're put.
So,
I would move up and ask him, has anybody ever offered the great dragon a pet like a dog as a offering?
Dog?
That's-
I make the do not listen to him motion.
What does Bahamut value? What do you value as stewards and protectors of her sanctuary or her temple?
We have been here for quite some time. We've taken it upon ourselves to be the guards, the foot soldiers of Mother Worm.
Oh, that's the worm that we saw on the gate.
Are you hungry?
Wait, I thought
we're
dragons
fine.
have eggs. I thought dragons had eggs. They don't have worms.
And
I'm
What did
gonna
you say,
go.
Ezra?
Oh, sorry.
No,
What did you say, Ezra?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you did. Sorry.
where do we go to worship?
Right here is fine.
Can we walk up
we've
to the
been
statue?
here. We've been here for decades, actually. Yeah, you can walk up. Just they're watching to make sure you don't steal anything.
No, I don't want to steal anything.
I would take some coins out of my pouch. I would take let's see what I can spare. I would take 20 gold pieces out of my pouch and I'd throw it where the other stuff is, in front of the altar, and go down on my knees.
I'm gonna do the same since I'm gonna throw in 5 platinum.
Oz just sees this other room. Well, who's the head?
I'll do 20 gold as well.
Who's the spokesperson for all these guards?
So there are several.
They all
So
speak
you're-
in unison?
No. Just the one guy that was talking to you as you came in. They don't seem to have a whole lot of rank among them. But he says, "My name is Eris. Well, that's Bronze, Cobril, Fervo, Gwendol, Heddard, Kittom, Alistan, and some others. So you you come here for what purpose?
We've been told that we can worship Bahamut, and
Who
we've
told you?
a council member suggested that we come down and take a look.
A council
There was
member?
Well, it's actually a sign and a job board.
Ah! I was just like, no, you don't want to make it sound so trivial. It's not like someone busted up and ain't got nothing to do. Go come visit Bahamut. Go worship.
But it was put up by we don't know which council member put it up, but one of them thought it was a good idea for us to come here. So
Well, someone in council had to make this decision. It's not like someone just
We
randomly
don't
went up
really
and put a
have
poster.
dealings with from Leylon or Neverwinter. Where?
Leylon.
Leylon.
That old eyesore.
No.
Why
It's
would
up
a
and
town
coming.
council send you here?
That's up and coming. It's just gonna like turns into. It's up and coming.
You mean
It's gonna be
Today's
huge
gonna-
someday.
James was about to get on his knees to start praying, but now he has a puzzle to solve. He's like,
Indeed.
okay, so they have not had. Question: when was the last time anyone has been here? I mean, you said you hadn't had contact with anyone from Leylon a while, right?
Well, I mean, the town's been dead for I don't know how long. I lose track.
Yeah, I mean,
We've been here a long time. We've been here ever since the Mother Worm admonished us to stay and act as her guardians.
Where's Mother Worm, by the way?
Well, these days she spends most of her time secluded in her own area. She only goes out once in a long while to hunt for food. And then she comes back immediately and stays sequestered.
Where does she get food?
Here and there, she flies out over the ocean and on the land looking for, things that are worthy of her to eat.
Oz just purses his lips, and you guys hopefully see it. Okay. What's her favorite meal?
Well, it changes. Sometimes she eats large fish from the sea. Sometimes she eats cattle. It depends on what she's in the mood for. But she only goes out once every several weeks, not often.
Oh,
Only when the
It's like a-
hunger drives her, I think.
oh, okay.
yeah,
hmm.
question. We've seen several notices by the town council, right? So is it all like written in the same handwriting?
Oh, good question. Usually it is. This one is not.
And it's not.
Interesting.
And from the okay, so it's a different handwriting. Is it the same kind of paper the council uses?
No. A little different.
Are there any symbols on it?
No other symbols, just the writing.
So just different type of paper.
It's like written
handwriting.
similarly, like someone was trying to make it look like all the others.
I mean, I didn't think much about it at the time.
Oz just looks at all the guards. What's it look like the last time they ate?
Oh, they do fine. They look good. They've just been around a long time. They go, she's not been well for decades now.
She hasn't been
What do you
well
mean?
because she hasn't fed.
No.
Oz is not.
I think it's the other way around. I think she doesn't eat much because she doesn't feel well.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we should worship and leave, if that's possible.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on a minute.
Oz
One of the
is
guards.
pacing back and forth.
I get one of the guards in that. Do you any of you recognize this handwriting? I showed them the flyer.
I'm not sure what I'm looking for. I can barely
Just
read.
today's reads that.
Can you
Yes.
give us a tour at least and show
And these
us where we
guys
might
do
be worship?
have, by the way, they do have the faded blue tabard, right, with the a logo, a symbol on it, and the symbol looks like a singular eye with tears spreading downward from it in a fan shape, kind of.
Is the door locked? Is the door closed that we came in from outside?
Back at the top of the stairs.
And at the bottom of the stairs are where we came in. Did we walk down or walk up to this?
You walk down into
Okay,
it.
so where Sparky is the opening, is the door there? Did it close?
No, it's still open.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, how do we worship if we're here to worship? What's our next step?
You are free to pray at the shrine, right here.
Okay.
Zith would be well ahead of his compatriots and far less inquisitive. He would be settling in and trying to really tune into this thing to see if there's any visions he could get to. People are making noise, asking questions, and he's just like really trying to concentrate, which is why he hasn't participated in the discourse.
Okay.
Oz just holds out both of his hands and flames come up and he's looking up at the statue. This is a way of worshiping.
All
Vance
right.
will get on his knees, just center himself like he always does. There's that place of inner calm, and just begin to pray.
Yeah, Ezra would do the same thing, just kind of pray as typical. Make sure my holy symbol's out and doing my thing.
Okay. And you can see into the next room as well. The walls in there look like it's another even larger round room. Yeah, with an opening in the floor. This large room has a big pool at the center of the chamber. Down below, as you can see, you could hear the ocean swirling and sloshing against it as the waves outside must be connected in some way to the ocean outside. You can also see on some of the walls that you can make out, there appear to be large murals of metallic dragons.
Ooh. In both rooms or just the room that we're in right now?
No, the next room over. The room you're in right now is a fairly pristine white marble room with the big marble dragon statue.
What do we see down here?
That hallway, yeah, that hallway goes down into like another hallway or other chamber down that way.
Do they seem threatened because I'm looking down there? Or they don't care?
Yeah, one walks right up to you.
Oh, okay. I said, I is this the privy?
He kind of chuckles and he says, "No, those go to our own chambers, and to other parts of the shrine.
Oh, okay. Boy, you guys are well connected here.
So, well, we've lived here for decades.
So they're older than me. You guys, do we want to go into the room, or where do we work? I mean, we're all stuck in this room, or it's kind of like a standstill. We've done our worship. Is that all there? Do we see any visions
What were your instructions?
to come here and worship, and then at some point we would see visions of what's hurting Leylon?
Or maybe they don't know what they're talking about.
So Zith's been there, a few seconds. I don't know how long this is all taken. Am I picking up anything?
You're not, or you are?
I've been praying ever since I walked up there. Like I haven't.
You've been praying to stop yourself from picking something up.
I've actually. I've really been trying to tune in. It's not really like for Zith. It's not really praying as much as like opening his mind.
Right. So
he's not a religious guy.
They're watching you carefully. You're looking around. You're also trying to sense, like, you go back to praying and eyes down, all that stuff, and you're kind of trying to sense things. There's something wrong here.
Oh yeah.
These guys, they seem to belong here, but they seem uneasy. Like they're letting you do what you're doing, like because maybe people come here and do that, but they don't seem to be resting their guard too much. They are maybe very, like, they're doing their job. They're doing security here.
They're pretty relaxed, is what you're saying, and they don't.
They're not that relaxed, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, they're not. Oh, okay.
They want to try to look like they are, but you can see like they're re-gripping the hilt of their sword a couple of times. They're kind of doing this, even though they've got their weapons down. They're not in a defensive or offensive stance in any way, but they seem anxious.
It's a Mexican standoff.
Ezra, what do you do?
Anywhere else that we can? Is there anywhere else we can go in this area? Like I know, like the bottom section is also by there.
So you're with me. You feel the same way that once we go past this point, all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, I think Ezra would start to get like a little on guard at this point. Because if there's no vision going on, if that was the clear instruction, something's got to be off. So I think he would be kind of alert and watching each of the guards, without making it noticeable. And if anyone would still I don't think he would reach for his mace or his warhammer, but he would, be on guard as best he can.
Okay,
Something's clearly not right.
Yeah, something is bothering. Something's bothering them. So they're like, they're waiting. They're not even going to try to interrupt you. They're just kind of standing there waiting for you to finish doing whatever you're doing.
So even the fact that we said we wanted to worship, it doesn't change anything.
No, they're allowing you to do that.
Okay.
Is anything coming in, Jim? It doesn't sound like it.
You don't receive any particular visions.
All I know is that once we go past, I'm confident that once we go past this spot, the game begins. So let's see what happens.
So the guard you walk past, he says, "So, Tiefling, you're from Leylon. How long have you been there?"
About 2 years, right? We're going on 2 years now. Tim, would we say about 2 years has gone by, or a year?
Of real game time?
No, of universe time.
Yeah, about 2.5 months.
Oh, okay, 2.5
This whole
months.
campaign, your whole rise to 9th level, has taken you like 3 months total.
Okay, we're quick learners.
Yeah,
I've
this
only
is
been in a
not,
couple months. I
not your
like it.
daddy's D&D.
Right. Okay. So he's like, he explains, we kind of found a home there. We've been trying to protect it. We made the pact with the lizard folk, and we're really trying to improve the town and make it ship. Trying to make
You
it a
know,
good spot.
the Claw of the Coast was a great protector of Leylon in her day.
Was she?
Yes, she was.
So what now? Oz is what what stops her from protecting it now?
Good question. I don't know.
How long have you been here?
Decades.
Decades. How long has the worm been here?
She's been here even longer.
So do you work for Bahamut or the worm?
We're the
Oh, hi.
we're the Scaly Eye,
That's
and
okay.
we traveled the seas. But when we came here, our mother uh, asked us to stay and protect her, to be guardians of this sacred place
So she's separate from
that we
the
have.
okay, so the worm is separate from the dragon.
No, she is a bronze dragon.
But who's the worm?
She's a very old bronze dragon.
Who's the
Oh,
worm?
that's just what we call her, Mother Worm.
Oh, okay.
Her name is not easy to pronounce, Lamarantos. So we often just refer to her by some of her nicknames.
And her nicknames are?
We of the Scaly Eye call her Mother Worm. But she's also referred to by other names. You mentioned them in your little missive you have there.
Claws of the Coaster. Oh, how can we see these visions? We've worshipped, or is there something different we're doing? Or, do we need to draw blood, or
Honestly, I'm not a priest.
is there
Uh,
is there a priest in
but,
the other room?
well, I don't know. No, just us. So I believe it's, up to Bahamut to bestow a vision upon you.
Someone needs to take the lead here. We need to get into the other room. And he won't let me through.
So, Jim, I am still praying.
Okay.
I'm specifically, I think something in my mind has I have a theory about it. Who sent the missive? And so what I'm asking Bahamut is, what you of Shining Scales, what do you want of us? If, did you, if you were the one who sent the letter to us, that missive, reveal thy will so we may act upon it.
Um, Okay.
Yeah, my theory is that Bahamut or one of his servants sent the missive, and they want us here for some reason.
Oh, I think mm. Can we look into the other room? Will they let us by?
Have you tried to walk by? I know you walked up to it.
Yeah.
Have you asked to walk by?
Yeah, that's why I was standing here.
Okay.
You want to
You're saying
give me a tour?
you would like to see the Ascension Chamber.
Are you guys want to come with me to the Ascension Chamber?
The what?
The Ascension Chamber.
I would probably ask, what's
Sure.
the Ascension Chamber?
I'm looking in from here. I haven't stepped past it
Yeah.
yet.
So this has lots of murals. It's got all kinds of metallic images of metallic dragons, probably hundreds of them. The ceiling is engraved with some kind of script writing in a language you don't know.
Go, Jim. Go. Go. Go.
But you want me to go?
No, the dog. The dog. He's got a dog. You
Oh,
What's your
I thought I
dog's
was
name?
muted. Sorry, Jim. My dog's name is
Rude.
Jim.
Rude.
Sorry.
Okay. Did you
I
just?
can read language.
Yeah, you can, but you're not there.
Okay.
No, I didn't follow him.
So Oz is asking if people want to go over. They're like, yes, if you, of course, keep your respectful nature about you, you may go in.
I wouldn't look over. I'm gonna go walk around. So there's a stair going up.
Please do not go near the stairs.
Okay. Big entrance for Medusa.
You may look around the rest of the room, but the stairs are off limits.
Oh.
Those lead up to our mother worm.
Okay. But I can see out.
You can. Those are windows that are kind of in the belly of the carving.
Oh, and I see a little port here. That's pretty neat. So this is where a ship. Is there a ship there now?
No, it's like a little jetty where ships could pull up.
Big ships or little ships?
Probably smaller ships.
Not ship of a line, though, right?
Not big ones. Too close. Too many waves and
Like the
crashing.
skeleton one. Yeah.
So why is this area called the Ascension Chamber?
Because you're
And
ascending
he
up those stairs.
simply points over to the stairs. He kind of gestures over at the stairs.
Is okay.
Oh.
So is this up or is that up? What side is up?
The right side goes up toward the left.
This here goes up. So this
Correct.
is the. Is there anything underneath it? Any creative architecture here? Storage?
The whole room is really pretty. It's got all these. Let me draw an arrow. That's up. Sort of. Looks like an arrow, kind of.
Yeah, I got it.
All right. So the pillars, by the way, in this chamber are all carved with more images of metallic dragons. The ceiling has this engraved message. Kineas, you look up and you can recognize it as draconic.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Only those who speak her scaly eye name may ascend." The pool at the center of the chamber goes down not a great distance, but some distance down, and is churning water as if there was maybe a direct connection to the tide outside.
I'll just ask one of the guards if he can bring his dog in.
Is your
If
dog
that would,
behaved?
yeah, he's behaved. Is it disrespectful?
No.
Okay.
Bahamut loves all creatures.
Okay.
And Laborantos loves creatures too.
And they haven't given us any sense of like, so like, is the sense that we're getting that this part of the shrine is not where any potential visions, if we're going to get any at all, would come from? Is that what people are thinking?
Well, maybe you look
Yeah.
into the pool, but I don't want to look in yet. Maybe we should ask him that. If we look into the pool, is that how we see the vision that's promised us?
Worth the shot.
Are you asking any of them that? Is that what you're doing, or are you just talking
Yeah,
amongst
we're just
yourselves?
asking in general. Is that this is the ascension room, so that's where the worm is. You call her the worm?
Mother worm.
Mother worm lives upstairs. But is this where we see our vision?
I don't know anything about the vision you've been promised. I
Mm,
don't know
any
who wrote the paper you have.
When people come here to worship, where do they do that? Is it mainly at the altar that we were just at,
Yes.
or
At
do they?
the statue, yes.
What
It's
do
a
people do
simple
in
shrine.
here?
Admire? I don't know. They look out over the ocean, gain inspiration, so they can have
And what's
advantage on the next roll. I don't know.
and what's in what are we looking at? Like Zith would go to the side here,
Uh-huh.
and I would look down, and I would be like, "So what am I looking at here? Is that the ocean? Is this a
Yes.
sacred pool?
Mhm. Yes.
It's the ocean."
Yes.
It's the ocean below.
And as I'm looking at it, do I get any sense that it's anything more than just that?
No, I think it's pretty clear that it's just the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's connected in some way, so you assume that through some underwater method, you could probably
Enter, yeah.
leave or enter the shrine.
Is
Yeah.
this wait, is this water level to the room that we're in,
No,
or is it whole below?
it's down. It's down 30 feet or so.
Okay. Okay.
It's turning like it's got tide, like there's current.
It's a hole in the ground that goes 30 feet deep.
Okay, this other person steps up on you when you come this way.
Who you're talking to?
Sith. Sorry, I watched him
Okay.
just do his thing.
Yeah.
So
Hello, may I see the rest of the temple? I mean, no harm.
there isn't really much to see. What is it you look for?
You know, we did come here hoping that we could get some help in figuring out what's going to happen to Leyland, a town that's very near here with a lot of people. I've seen partial visions of calamity and death, and somebody in Leyland suggested that we come here to maybe attune that vision, get a better sense. And I I I sat at the altar. I concentrated. I prayed, but nothing's come. I'm just wondering if there's a different spot in this temple, in this great temple of yours, that maybe I could sort of tap into something bigger than myself.
How long have you worshipped Bahamut?
Oh, I can't say that it's been anything more than since I've been here, to be honest. Do you think that's what it takes?
I don't know. Maybe it does. I don't know. That's interesting that you were told to come here to seek a vision.
Why is that interesting?
I mean, we don't hear that a lot.
Hmm. Have you had any trouble around here, or has there been any incursions, or you guys seem a little bit, I don't know. I don't mean this in any offensive way, but you guys seem a little bit more tense than I would think, some temple guards might be. It seems like you have an idyllic life. You're near your god. You're at your temple. People come here and give
Why are
offerings, I suppose.
why are you asking? We are
Oh,
very protective of our mother worm.
is she here right now?
Yes.
Is it possible to get an audience with her? And I would never ask if I didn't honestly think the needs of many of the townspeople in Leylon and potentially along the Sword Coast were so intense, and um, I'm just very worried, and I don't know where to turn, and I haven't got any help so far. We wouldn't take much of her time, and we'd leave a donation if that's what it would take. We're happy to give you our arms to hold. Or what's that term, Jim? Bind. When you go into a town that doesn't allow weapons, you do something to them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like honor binding or something like that.
Binding or something. Yeah, honor binding. We're happy to honor bind or leave our weapons behind. But we really need this help, and I think
I do not think she will see anyone. She rarely even speaks to us these days. It's been years.
is she sick? Because we have one of the best healers I've ever met, and also a chef. He's not so great a healer, but he cooks bacon.
She is a great healer in and of herself.
Mm.
Many, many, many years ago, we have watched her in battle heal almost instantly from her wounds. I do not know what ails her, but something is at odds.
I'll tell you what. How about if you take our healer up alone with you guys, without us, with none of his weapons, and maybe he can do something for her that she
I don't think
can
that's a
no
good
longer
idea.
do.
I don't think anyone here would agree to take anyone up to be in the presence of Mother Worm.
Why?
Oz's
If
tail
she's
goes up and-
if she's in, if she's under the weather or even worse, couldn't it just help? I mean, we're no threat. We don't want anything.
Then you wanted a vision. But
True, but I don't think that's taking anything away from this temple. We've donated. We're happy to donate more. I mean, look, if we came here with ill intentions, to be honest, we could have done a lot of damage when we walked in.
I think this is why you've been allowed to roam as freely. Many other pilgrims who do come here to worship at the shrine say their prayers, leave an offering, and go about their way with the blessings of Bahamut. If you have not received Bahamut's blessing, I don't think it's Bahamut's fault.
Okay, I would. Can I see any
priest or your fire priest?
What am I doing again?
You aren't doing anything. Okay, well, so I feel like
I hear my name, but I'm like, what am I getting sucked into that right now?
Okay.
feel like I'm
It's-
at a dead end.
Let's turn
Is there
this spot-
anything?
Yeah, I
Can
sense
Spark-
that. Ezra, is there
Spark-
anything? Okay,
Okay.
what do you want Sparky to do?
He can roll for perception to see if he feels anything. He doesn't see anything. It's only a
okay.
4.
That was a 1. You rolled a 1. Yeah, Sparky is probably it's just staying right next to you.
Okay.
Ezra, what are you looking at doing? Got Sith walking over, talking to that guy.
Yeah.
Oz has been talking to someone else. Now he's trying to keep his dog from panicking. Or just keep him calm or whatever.
No, it's not. It just feels like there's nothing that we can do without pissing them off.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't think that we should start a fight. But if we need a vision, if that's what we're here for, we kind of have to find a way to go upstairs.
Is that what you're here for?
That's initially what we're believed to, be here for, some sense of a vision.
Right.
But it also seems like someone is sending us on a wild goose chase, and we don't know why.
Because they're raising the town of Leylon right now while you're wasting your time up here. Wahaha!
Possibly.
No. All right. So it's certainly possible. But yeah, it seems like somebody. And what were you promised if you came here?
1,000 gold points. Gold.
Wow. Okay.
1,000 gold.
That's
bullion.
250 apiece. Pretty good deal.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So, Ezra, before you piss anybody off, what would you do? What would you do if it was you, not Ezra?
What would I do? I would just casually stroll around and try and see if I can't sneak upstairs.
Mm,
That's probably what I would do.
Okay.
real life.
All right. Okay.
you're gonna run right up the stairs.
Well, I wouldn't just run. I would just kind of
Kind of looking at the murals, looking at the walls, and then I need you to make a DC 15 charisma saving throw, please.
So you're gonna pull
Okay.
Peter Sellers, like I'm not doing anything, just walk up the
Dun,
stairs.
dun, dun.
You
Mm,
said saving throw?
Yeah, DC 15 charisma saving throw.
I should have hit you with guidance before you did that.
Well,
that would
how
help.
would you know?
In the
How would
future,
you
when
know?
you guys do something, if you want to do something, let me know. Say, can you give me a little guidance? I'm like, okay.
So, those who can see Ezra, give me a perception roll.
23.
Ooh, 24.
Nice.
Natural 20.
So Ezra
Sparky's got a 14.
sets his foot upon the first step and stops. And that's what catches your eye, is that he stops.
Uh-oh.
And then he just gets a smile on his face and he steps back down again. He only got one foot up. And he continues his wandering.
Is he happy?
He is maybe vacant. And he jumps right into the pool.
Wait, that's 30 feet below, right?
Ezra, you have an overwhelming urge to drown yourself.
Oh,
Great.
shoot. In alcohol or?
In whatever he can drown himself in. So right now, there's a big pool down below in the middle of this room. And so he goes walking straight across and down into the pool, just like steps right off. Doesn't even really jump. He just goes right in like he doesn't care anymore. Like something just told him to go drown himself. And he's like, oh, yeah, that seems like a good idea. And then he just did it.
Can he
Right.
jump in there? I don't think I can get him.
Before I
Dude,
jump,
Good.
before I jump in, I'm gonna need to make a wisdom saving throw myself.
Okay. For
Why?
Tendays is now kind of afraid of the water.
Oh,
Okay.
fine.
Jim, name a DC.
Tell me if you are just sort of afraid of the water, moderately afraid of the water, or very afraid of the water, or massively afraid of the water.
Very afraid. And
Okay,
it's
so
French trauma afraid.
DC 16.
Okay. And it's an ability. This would be a ability check, right?
Saving throw.
Okay. That means the same either way.
Nope.
Okay, you really
Nope.
don't want to go jumping in. You go to the edge, you're trying to jump in, and you just can't. You can see him kind of doing the little phobia dance. He's kind of doing a little dance. He's like he's trying to psych himself up into jumping in the water.
Come on. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I immediately
You're gonna
I immediately just get on my knees, start digging to my backpack to grab some rope. Zith, jump in. I can't do it.
You know, Ezra just sank like a tank. He just boonk. He's not even swimming. He's trying to find the bottom of this pool.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, fuck. I look at Kenny, I roll my eyes, and I jump in. I leave my staff I give my staff to Ozus, and I just jump in, go right to the bottom where Ezra is.
Well, I was
Okay.
just going to ask you if I can charm him to stop him from doing what he's doing, like a spell on top of a spell.
Maybe if he
Ozus?
gets back up to the top, we'll see.
Closer, yeah.
I can.
Ozus,
How
do
far
that
down?
to me.
How far did you? Okay.
All right, so Zith does a swan dive, true heroic fashion.
Flipping off Caneus as I'm going in.
Just-
Can I just look the shame that he let its fear get the better of him?
all right, and get down to the water. Boosh. Okay, so here you go. You ready for this?
Yeah.
There is just a large amount of bubbles that you're swimming through now, not just from your plunge into the water, but just large bubbles, like someone just blew out all the air of their lungs
Mhm.
and they're trying to drown themselves. Ezra, isn't that what you would do if you're trying to drown yourself? Just like breathe out and try to take a big old nasty saltwater
Real
breath in.
swig. That's right.
Okay. All right. So he's clearly trying to drown himself. Zith, how are you going about this?
Is there a bottom to this pool?
Yeah, there's some, rocks and sand and whatever down at the bottom.
And he's at the bottom or near the bottom.
He's already at the bottom. And he's just kind of sitting there and his eyes are rolling back into his head as he begins to go unconscious.
How far down is he?
What's your con? I guess I could look that up. I don't have to ask you. I don't need
I can
I
tell
don't
you
need to
my
ask you. Your con
My
bonus
constitution?
is +2. So you have an idea that he's got
I only
maybe
have a +1.
10 seconds, maybe
Oh,
12
his, yeah. So I
before he
swim
starts
down there.
making death saves.
Yeah, I swim down there, and the first thing I do is I take a look at him, and he's clearly is he conscious or is he just unconscious at this point?
He's kind of unconscious. He is going to start making death saves. You can see him starting to convulse because he tried to breathe in a whole bunch of water.
Okay,
So
I would take out a dagger, and I would stab him in the leg. Not too deep.
Wake him up.
Not too deep. Just like a little.
Bring the shark.
Let's get the energy going.
Yeah.
and I would grab him and try and swim him up. He's in heavy armor, right?
Yeah, what
I'm
kind of
probably
armor
gonna
you
have
have there, Ezra?
probably gonna have a hard time doing this.
I have some chainmail on.
Okay, chainmail's not bad. Not
That's
bad.
medium armor, but it's all
Medium.
metal.
Yeah, I would do my best. I would give him a little poke, draw some blood, and try and swim him up,
God, no, we're not playing a Western.
praying that this adrenaline rush like snaps him out of it, or at least gives him some survival instinct
All
to
right.
like
So
help me.
I want you to give me a let's do a strength or athletics skill check. See if you can wrestle this hunk of metal and dwarf to the surface.
Well,
Unless we-
Maybe
unless-
you can get him to convince him to cough it up.
you aren't going to tell me what the DC is, right? Of course.
It won't be easy.
Okay, well, fudgy. Zith takes a moment. He steadies himself. He realizes after trying to pick him up off the floor that this is going to take a lot of effort. And he channels his with some that mother lifting the car off the baby strength, and he foresees him saving his friend, rolling a 20, and getting him up out of the water. Hopefully,
Wow.
with
So
that roll.
you knew that you were going to be the one to jump in and not Kineas because you knew that you were the guy to bring him to the surface.
I didn't know that Kineas would chicken out. I did know that the second that I jumped in there, I was going to save him because he is our one and only juice box. As much as I love my friend Ozis, that is not his skill set.
Okay. It might have to be a skill set if he dies, if your juice box dies.
This could go bad. This
There
could
could
go
be
bad.
a revivify happening here, maybe.
I'll give you a 20. That's it. That's all.
All right.
That's all I got.
With a 20, you shove off from the bottom and meet with tremendous resistance, but using some of the cave walls and an actual influx by luck, true luck, which you knew you were going to have. The tide also pushes you up.
Ah.
So you also there's this wave that came in or whatever, and it brings you up. So you get to the surface, but he is not breathing. So Tad, I want you to make a death saving throw. That's just a flat D20.
I would be yelling at Ozis
a 1 through 10. If you roll double digits, you succeed. Single digits, you lose.
So just a D20, you
A
said?
regular D20. Yep. Oh, single digit. That's one failed death save. 2 more, and you are dead.
It's okay.
DED dead.
That's not good.
It's okay.
Okay.
Because that happens. He does it we aren't in turn-based combat, but we all get to do something, and then he rolls again. Yeah.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah, basically it's rounds, but we are well, I'm not being strict about it. So
yeah,
let's go around. Kineas, now that you see that your dwarf friend is truly in bad shape, the guy behind you, he basically smacks on your armor with his sword, and he said, "This is what happens when people try to see Mother Worm without permission."
Okay, first of all, is he currently threatening me?
No,
I
He's
think.
he's getting your attention, you big crybaby.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
not
not.
crying or anything.
he's giving you shit. It's so great.
So first of all, I use my healing light on Ezra. So He gets a D6,
Okay.
and he receives 1 hit point.
All right. So that's enough to make him expel all of the water in his lungs, which he does so all over Zith. Just big
don't feel
old
bad about
throw up of all kinds of salt water and whatever else he had for a snack this afternoon. All coming up out of his lungs, out of his stomach. You get him, and then he takes a big breath in.
He's
Ezra?
like, "Why did you stab me?"
Ezra, I'm going to leave this up to you right now, but your goal is you feel an overwhelming urge to drown yourself, and you do everything in your power to do so.
Fuck.
We got to break this spell somehow. It's funny. I was gonna.
Tell you what,
I was gonna.
make another. Let's see, make a DC 15 Wisdom save. Do that first. You were okay. All right.
22. Thanks.
I'll
Bob.
give you a chance, a choice. You can not do that. And since you basically were at death's door, you were at the Forge of Moradin there for a minute. So I think that's enough to snap you out of whatever happened to you. What
Zith
do you
would
want to do?
smack him in the face and be like, "Stop fucking doing that."
I probably, after like coughing and gagging and getting, all this stuff out of me, I'd say, "What the hell just happened? I was walking around, the next thing I knew, I just wanted to drown. And I don't remember anything else."
Just don't go up the stairs again, man.
Good thing none of us are a
It ain't-
fairy. That would be interesting how that would work.
The Canadians will throw down his 50-foot rope to both of them. And then
Well, I was
climb
gonna.
out.
Yeah, I was gonna do the. Sparky can pull him up.
Okay.
So you're throwing down the rope,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't need anything. You don't need to be snapped out of anything, and he's charmed or.
I don't
Yeah,
believe
me?
so.
Okay, yeah, connects.
Okay, no, he now has a phobia for water. That's all.
Okay.
From everything that terrible that's truly happened to him is near the water.
Okay. Well, Sparky could pull up the rope for you. You just put it in his mouth.
Yeah. So you guys can, between all of you, get all of you up. You're all up there now. And the those guys, the scaly eye members, they are just staring at you disapprovingly,
Yeah, like they had no
kind
reaction.
of shaking their head. No,
Right. Yeah.
they would have let you just go to your doom.
Okay. We need to see this mother worm. And Canadians will once again look back up at the ceiling to reread what it said they need to do.
Only those who speak her scaly eye name may ascend.
In other words, if we
Okay.
pronounce her name, you're going to let us go up the stairs?
It's not them. It's whatever powers on that staircase, I think. Everybody, say mother worm.
Mother worm.
There were.
This?
No, I think he means the That's not the word we're looking for.
It's what they put her scaly-eyed name. They're the scaly-eyed guard or
Sorry.
something.
It's
I was on mute.
Llama. It's Lahamar Runtaz. That's her scale name.
Yes. That's
Ditto.
give it a try.
Lamar Ma Run to 20Z. Oz is like he's reading it. Lama Marun Tuzaz.
Who actually said the name?
Lama Dama Ding Dong.
Tendays? Hmm.
Is that it?
I-
Lama Dama
said-
Ding Dong shout.
I said what the scaly-eyed guard calls her. Mother Worm.
And say the other name just to cover your bases, and then take a shot, big guy.
And Kinea says insert the name of the dragon.
Nope. No inserting.
The claws of the
fine.
coast.
You have to butcher it or get it right one way or the other.
Where's her name again? I can actually try at least attempt this.
You got to go to Prayer Journals, Leylon Landmarks, go to the job board, and it's La Hammer Untaz.
Okay, let's see. Lamar Untuz. Well, we'll see if that works.
So Zith is putting himself right between the bottom of the stairs and the water.
No, Ezra, first of all, I am very sorry. I did not come for you. I have some stuff I need to work through, apparently. This is not the time or the place for that. This is the time or place to meet a fucking dragon. We need to find out what's going on, and she knows.
I can't wait for
So I
this.
take-
Okay, I'm steadying myself, like waiting for him to do the exact same thing.
I
Okay.
take one step onto the stairs.
All right. So you take one step onto the stairs. I want you to make a charisma saving throw.
Lahama Run
I need to make a
Tazi.
charisma saving throw.
Yes.
Oh, balls.
10. Sorry,
Can I give him?
7.
Can I give him my inspiration, Jim?
Nope. So you're expecting to have some urge to throw yourself into the water you fear so much, and nothing happens.
I keep walking then.
All right. Okay. So you walk on up the stairs. As you reach the top of the stairs, you see the next chamber, 2 great circular windows. Look out on the ocean at the sea air, causing a crust of green barnacles to grow around the glass of the southernmost pane.
Okay.
Oh, she's not even on this in this area. She's at another plane.
Before the windows sits a great dragon, her scales a deep, deep bronze. Her eyes are wide and wild as she stares at the ocean.
She's upset.
I will bow before her and say, Mother Worm, I apologize for bothering you. Me and my friends have come a distance to see you, and we need your wisdom.
She's making a
What's that? What's she making, Jim?
Just kind of
We
this
can't see your
wheezing.
camera. Oh,
It's a wheezing sound.
Is it allergies?
she needs a
My lady,
Zyrtec. Do you have a Zyrtec?
do you need some assistance? Among my companions, we have two clerics. Maybe they might be able to assist you.
So she begins to mutter out loud to herself. She seems to be wondering if you are intruders or friends. Are you an intruder? Are you a
I see.
friend?
Yeah. We have to let her know that we're not here for gold, or we're here to see a vision and hopefully undepressed her.
My lady,
Kineas.
yeah.
Never mind. I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Mm.
Right? Is right.
Well, fortunately,
Into
I'm only at the stairs,
them
so
only. Request. All right, in the chat, sir. Let's see an intelligence roll.
okay. Ooh, intelligent. Okay. Saving throw.
Yeah.
Good thing it's not me.
I wish it was me.
Damn it!
Oh man, 2 sevens in a row.
I know it's terrible.
You're an intruder.
I have a
here
-1. We would have never.
You are here to hurt all of us. You look like a
Uh-oh.
dragon slayer. You smell like a dragon slayer.
Oh, you better get yourself out of this one.
My lady,
Roll
no.
initiative.
Okay. There's no current encounter being viewed. All right, here you go. Man, I'm rolling terrible tonight.
Ooh.
Well, she rolled a little less terrible than you did.
Oh.
Yes.
Are we seriously in combat with this thing? This is not good.
All right.
No.
So she I really think she's just simply gonna breathe on you.
Sure she does.
Oh, I had
Always
to
the breath
spell
weapon.
I had to spell the stuff that I had 2 spells I changed, swapped out because I knew that when we decided to come here.
All right, so she is going to use her repulsion breath. By the way, I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to copy the image just so you can see what she looks like. She's cool.
Oh, she is nice.
Oh, pretty.
Yeah, you'll think that as she hits you, you'll need to make a DC 19 strength saving throw.
That
Thank
hurts.
God, something I'm really good at.
That is good. So you managed to brace yourself
Thank God.
as she basically breathes out, and the force of her breath is charged. So you could tell that lightning may be soon to follow as you get pushed and you slide down a couple of steps, but you hold your ground as she's pushing you really, really hard with her breath.
Mm.
Your turn.
Jim, can we hear this? Like, clearly we're all attuned to him.
Oh yeah,
being
you
heard,
can
like-
totally hear at
Yeah,
the
we can
top
hear
of the
this?
stairs. You don't hear any of the talking, but suddenly you hear this huge exhalation, and maybe Kineas grunting a little bit as he's struggling
And there's
against.
no way we can go up there to help him.
Sure, you can. Why not? Just run.
No, then we got to do the Lamar.
Jim, I was going to ask, like, how many feet is it from where I am to where Kineas is?
Yeah, we got to pass the test first. We got to see if we pronounce the word right.
Unless you don't.
If you don't, then you go crazy and you jump off the side here.
It's 40 to 45 feet up the stairs.
Oh, like in a direct line. Like if I was to teleport there, like would 30 feet be enough?
Did you already use your dimension door to get to the other side of the gate?
That is Misty Step. I get one free use, but then I can cast it as a
Misty
spell.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was
yes.
asking. Like,
So
could I
if
get
you-
there?
But that's 30 feet, right?
Yeah, it's only 30 feet. That's what I'm saying. Like,
You would not be able to go from the bottom of the stairs to the top of the stairs.
got it. Okay.
So, Jim, question.
Yeah.
If I make an insight check, would that be my entire action?
Yes, that would be if you're gonna, because you're trying to do something. If you're not, so like, if you want to do like a passive insight check, that's just you getting a feel for it. If you're really trying to discern, just like a perception check, if you're going to search, you're looking for something in particular, that's a perception check. I'll tell you what we'll do. For right now, you're going to have a chance to think about how you're going to deal with a adult bronze dragon at the top of the staircase. And we will pick it up
something's
next week.
Well, here's the
Yeah,
thing.
something's
We can't.
obviously wrong with her.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely can't kill her.
We don't want to kill her. Yeah.
Well, if we kill her, then we don't get the vision.
We don't want to kill
Well,
her.
we don't know. We don't know that. But we also don't want to fight a effing adult bronze dragon.
Well, then we need to figure out what's going on upstairs. What's causing this?
But Jim, we are not meeting next week, right? Well, so the next time we'll meet is
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Halloween.
November 7th. Election
Old
day
Hallows
for some
Eve.
people.
Hopefully,
Is it?
all have
I think
voted by then.
But Jim, what's your 10 candles thing? I mean, I don't know if I can make it. I'm just curious.
It's a heavy game to have candles. You got to light them all up and
You have to
carry them
know.
around.
So, what was your question again, so I can answer correctly?
Like what's that game? I know that you invited us to it, but like, can lay people just show
It
up
is-
and handle it, or is it you would have
Yes.
to know it?
No, it's a very simple system. But the premise of the game is this is not a horror survival game. It is so it's not survival horror, it's tragic horror.
Yeah, I thought that part was cool.
Your characters will die at the end, or before the end. And so the point of the game is for you to play out the last hours of their life and hold on to hope as long as you can.
That's super cool. But like, what's the game mechanics? Like, what is it like?
So the game begins with players having index cards. In Foundry, we use journal entries, and you do character creation where you come up with a particular adjective, a single word that describes one trait. And so it's a virtue and then a vice. And then you come up with your basic character concept of who you are, what you do for a living, whatever, and then you have a brink and another. I forget the other trait, but there's one other trait. And the idea is that you simply role play. The mechanics are pretty simple. There is a set pool of dice. And if you ever have to make an action where something is not clear, I will ask you to roll that pool of dice. The problem with it is that pool of dice shrinks throughout the game. And so you have to get at least one success, which is not easy to get. I think it's like a 5 or a 6 or something like that. Or maybe it's just a 6. And you have to get successes in order to succeed. If you get it, but I also get to roll whatever dice are no longer in the pool against you. So it's a very slippery slope as each round goes. And when you fail a roll, when you fail a roll, a candle is blown out, and we begin the next round.
Mm.
And so whatever happens, whatever the failure is, you get to. So if you roll, if I roll more successes than you do, I get narrative control of what happens. If you roll more successes than I do, you get narrative control, even if you fail, right? You get narrative control of how you fail.
Mm.
And then we
That's
begin the new
that's
round.
cool.
And each round begins with a statement of fact. So we each tell a truth. And so the truth ultimately ends with, and we are alive. So you may say, I found a gun, or I found 2 more candles, or which aren't the same as the candles of the game, but maybe it's a light source for you. I found a lantern,
Yeah.
or whatever, right? And so you can state the truth, like the keys were left in the car. So you can like state the truths, and then we play the next round of what happens next until somebody fails a roll. If you succeed, you get to keep going, right? The round does not end until you fail. So, but if that's the basic mechanic, is that pool becomes very dynamic as you things you aren't successes, or if they're ones, they disappear out of your pool for the rest of the round. And then when the round resets and we state our truths, you only get back a number of dice in your pool equal to the candles that are still lit. So
Got
obviously
it.
begin with 10 dice, and then I have none. And as the round goes, I get more dice because I get the ones that you roll, and you keep the sixes are successes, right? And so that we just goes that round until the round ends, and then we do the next round, and each time it gets a little bit closer. Now you can also burn a trait, so you can burn a virtue, burn a vice, etc., where you have to tell how that's going to help you succeed and what's going to push
Interesting.
you through. And so you're burning these things away, and as you burn them, that's good, but that ends the round. But you get to stay alive, but you burned a trait. So you succeed, but it ends the round, right? You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
anyway, that's how it works. It can be played easily in a 3-hour game. The idea is that you don't know who you're up against. You don't know what the darkness holds for you, but it
And
scares
what's
the
the
shit out of you.
and what's the era? Is it current era? Is it
It can be
50s? Is it
anything. It
yeah.
could be anything. In this case, it'll be the days that lead up to Halloween.
Mm.
So
Cool.
10 days ago, the sun did not come up. The next day, the stars disappeared.
Yeah.
Then in darkness, the world turned on all the lights, and that caused power outages everywhere. So now you have generators that are going until the fuel runs out. You have a lantern until your kerosene runs out. You have candles until they burn down. And what you do know is whatever's in the dark stays away when you have a light. And they get you when there is no light to keep them from doing so.
So it's just living at the end of the world.
Yes, or whatever what you know of the world. It could be just you're on a deserted island. There is no one coming for you. What will you do up until the very, very end? And so those traits help inform you how you behave, your own role play, your own personal experience, whatever emotion you put into the game. So it can be a very intense, uh, dark, desperate game. But you keep fighting because you got to hold out. Somebody will come rescue you, right? You've seen enough movies to know that, yeah, people die, but the light comes on at the end, right? Somebody shows up. Well,
Not
not this
unless you're
game.
watching. Yeah, not if you're watching the movie The Mist.
Right. Yep. So that's the premise of the game. It's an intense horror game, but it is a tragic horror. You will not live through the night. So now it's you role playing out those last hours of hope and loss, because you'll be dealing with people who did die. Maybe someone else sitting at the table with you, their character dies, and you now have to deal with that because it will be horrific, probably the way they go.
That's great. That
Fascinating
sounds
game.
fun.
Yeah, super fascinating game.
Do you run these as like? Do you run a 10 candles campaign, or do
No,
you
they're
just
all just
one
one shot.
shots? Got
It
it.
is a 0 prep one shot. I don't even know anything more than it's going to be the days lead up to Halloween.
Oh wow.
That's it. That's all I know because that's all I've come up with. So during the character creation, you're going to define, a player will have a chance to define something about them, and they will define something about you. They saw you blank. You saw them blank, right? So you get to define a little bit about who they are. So you get some players have a lot of agency in that regard too, world building right there on the spot. So it's a fascinating game. It keeps me on my toes, keeps the players on their toes as we all roll toward the end at increasing speed.
I
Like the
played it. It's a
car,
lot of fun.
pedal
A
to the
lot of
metal.
fun.
Yeah. So I'm going to run 2
Um,
sessions of that, Friday night and Saturday night.
Also, I don't know when the time changes. Is it before our next game or
November
is it
5th,
after
I
our next
think.
game? So it's before our next game.
Yeah.
So
I'll-
you stay the same. It starts an hour earlier for everyone
No,
else.
it's going to change. It'll stay the same for everyone else. It's going to change for me. I start running at 6 right now, but I changed it to 7.
Oh, good.
So that it stays the same for all you guys.
Got it. That's actually very helpful. Thanks for that.
Yep. Yep.
I'm sure the East Coast
But-
guys probably aren't that thrilled, but it's good for me.
I was kind of looking forward to getting to bed an hour earlier, but I
Yeah. I was
It's the
going to say,
wrong
Jim,
direction. It's
like,
fallback.
I'm the only I'm the only West Coast guy. So if I have to start at 5 because that's better for everybody, it's totally fine. You just let me know.
Oh, it's just going to be the same time for you guys. You're going to move your clock, but the game will start at the same time for you. So East Coasters, it'll still start at 9 p.m. Your 9 p.m. will be an hour earlier, right? You'll see.
I'll be. Yeah. It
No,
works out. Yeah.
Just
I'm
check
thinking that
in.
Patty-
Just check in with
Patty-
Start Playing Games. Start Playing Games will adjust the clock for you.
I was just saying that I think Taddy was saying that like it would be nice for him for them to start at 8 and end at
Yeah, but
11.
it's fine. Like I said, it's no big deal for me. I'm used to it.
Cool.
If you guys want to, you can, but
It's totally up to you guys, because honestly, there's 3 of you guys on the East Coast. I can't.
The promise that I made for everyone else was, and I'm the only time zone that has to worry about it shifting, but is to keep the time. The game time starts at 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern. That's all year round. That's when the game starts. So I
8 Central.
I change it for me, right? So that's what I do. Is I go from 7 to 10 instead of 6 to 9. So totally doable.
So Jim, will you be sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna ask you, how are you gonna be giving us our bespoke weapons to our character sheets?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get those built out this week. So
Okay.
Yeah. So now you have some new fun toys.
Oh, it's great.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
great. My bow staff, it hits like a +1 longbow, right? Like when I use it as a bow.
Yep.
Great. Okay.
+1 to hit, +1 damage with extra force damage without spending any charges.
So great.
Wait.
Is it extra force damage on every hit?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I'll
It's
double check it, but yeah, I think that's
it's a D6. A D6 is it's not
that may be one
crazy.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's a lot better than nothing. And then
I was gonna say I don't have multi attack, so or extra attack, so it's probably 1 D6 per round, which is not crazy, but awesome.
So no, you can
damage.
choose to spend 1 charge and do a D6 force damage, but it's got 12 charges.
Oh, I thought you said it was extra damage extra damage of 1 for each hit.
Yes, correct. So it's a plus
plus
1,
one
but you
to
also get
damage.
+1 armor class, +1 saving throw, +1
Yeah, no,
skill
it's
attack roll.
it's amazing. I love
And
that. Great.
then yeah, so it takes 1 charge to do a power strike, and then it has 12 charges, and you get a D10 plus 2 charges back. No. Yeah,
And you said
2d4
2d4.
plus
Yeah.
4.
Yeah. So at
Yep.
least 6. That's
Yep.
great.
And on your recharge roll, you have to roll a d20, and if you roll a 1, it just becomes a regular +1 staff. And
Yeah.
on a 20, it regains a d10 plus 2 charges.
Oh, cool. Okay. Great.
Okay. Cool. All right. So if
Okay.
you guys have any more questions, feel free to put it in the Discord. Good game tonight, guys. Hope you had a little bit of fun doing a non-combat encounter for a change.
Thanks,
Oh,
Jim.
yeah.
And trying to figure out what the hell's going on in this weird place. So there's definitely something wrong with that dragon. Something very wrong.
Yeah. The way it was
Not-
talking to itself was not normal.
No, now you've got to figure out what's wrong with it. So we'll let you think about that, chit chat amongst yourselves. And in the meantime, have a great Halloween. If you end up coming into the 10 Candles game, great. Love to have you. Otherwise, we'll skip a week and see you the following week.
We'll see you guys.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Cool, guys.
Take care,
Bye.
everybody.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Thanks for having
everyone.
me all.